Says we are live. I'm getting Rumble past its pre-roll jitters, I guess we'll say. All right, there we go. How you doing, Jay Watterson? All right, guys. I'm going to start off just a quickie here. Mention of what happened the other night. I'm going to give Rumble a little bit of a thumbs up here because, you know what? Rumble didn't have a problem. Rumble kept going. So from what it looks like, my stream the other night, it looks like some jackass, either that or YouTube is making this up. It looks like some jacknugget reported me as suicidal or something. So YouTube just took me down without looking at anything. Just took my stream down. And I had a message come up and it gave me a bunch of things about where to go for help for it. And I was understandably hot, as you can tell by my short little video I did, live stream I did afterwards. And I sent a very hot message to YouTube to dispute said takedown. They got back to me about, when I got up in the morning, there was a message saying, we reviewed, yeah, we found no problem. Your video is now back up. Problem is, by the time they put it back up, all the big YouTube channels had now talked about what we had talked about. And so I got maybe, yes, my channel's tiny, but with that type of crap, I probably would have got at least a couple hundred views, and instead I got about 50. And also, strangely, I gained 2 subscribers that night, but it lost those 2 the next morning. Or no, actually today, 2 days later. So I've lost they're sticking me at 213, and I think it's BS they're messing with me. Jay Watterson, I'm guessing it was YouTube, probably pretty late for a random person to report it. Well, a lot of the lefty trolls do that. I had that problem on my other YouTube channel, my larger one, my Urban Exploring channel. I had people doing that crap. But YouTube used to try to contact you about stuff like that, or at least would look before they took a stream down automatically. Of course, that channel had more subscribers, a lot more, but obviously they're not letting me get anywhere because I'm going to say it outright. I know people, oh, whatever, you just suck. Yeah, I do suck at this. But they are definitely 100% shadow banning my channel. I can now look back at my analytics and see that my channel should be right around 640 subscribers. Yeah, still tiny. 640 subscribers. Because every time I gain a number, 2 days later, I lose that number. They are sticking me at 213, and that is that. So, yeah, and I've been through this before on my last political channel. When they stopped me, they stomped me. Boom, hit a wall. So, yeah, whatever's going on is BS. So they've picked and choose, and I'm going to give, like I said, giving Rumble a little bit of a thumbs up. Rumble didn't take crap down. That whole stream is still on Rumble, including when I found out it blipped me, but didn't blip me out on Rumble. But boy, I got a little nasty. So yeah, just a little bit of cover on that. So anybody watching this, if you've hung up by now on this stream, fine, I get it. But yes, YouTube did take me down in a bull crap manner, and they are definitely shadow banning my channel. 100%. But on the other hand, Rumble, I have a problem with you because nobody small can grow on Rumble unless you're a video game streamer. That's that. All right. Texan, what is up, buddy? Hey, no problem, man. I understand, dude. Sorry I haven't streamed much lately, guys. I've been very busy. And after the other night's kerfuffle, I was pretty pissed off, as you can tell. But, we are back, and we are going to have some chit-chatting tonight. So feel free to chime in. Feel free to throw them flip-flops at me. Let me take a quick look over at Grumble. Okay, Rumble's really slow tonight. Woo! Rumble actually, the live viewers actually usually beat YouTube this time of night. So I'm surprised at Rumble. All right, but let me go and make me tinier than my channel already is. Now, I'm of the mind now that this channel will never grow no matter what I do. When I was doing 3 videos a day for a while there, plus live streams, 213. Since then, 213. So, okay. And I know I'm not that great, guys. I get it. But wow, I've seen people a lot worse than me can at least get 1,000. It's like, okay. All right, but appreciate the flip-flops. I really do. I really do. Mr. Texan, I appreciate any of your time. I can have time off, so I'm going to not waste any more of your time. All right. Fired deep state bureaucrats reportedly using their regime change skills to sabotage Trump. Okay. Game on, mother pussers. This is from Fox News. The White House said it is inherently undemocratic for unelected bureaucrats to undermine the duly elected president of the United States. Not only is it undemocratic, it is treasonous. At the very least, seditious. These people should be charged and jailed. They are breaking laws. This is one where I've said many times, Trump is too light on this. He's still trying to be liked, still trying to connect with people you cannot connect with, reason with people you cannot reason with. So I have a problem there, and yes, I am still a Trump supporter, but I am going to also talk about things I think he's doing wrong, and these people should be jailed and arrested. Or arrested and jailed. How's that? Let's do it in that order. Yeah, it is very undemocratic, but once again, as I've said, Democrats don't give a fuck about democracy. They only screech about democracy until they lose. Now, it's all violence. Everything going on is violence from them. That is a standard MO for Democrats for the last 50, 60 years or more. We lose, we get violent. When we think we have a chance, we'll scream democracy. But yeah, they do not give a shit. Fixing to make some fried spam and eggs. Oh, buddy, Texan, man after my own heart. Dude, I love spam. I don't know why. I know it's the bad parts. I ain't going to mention them here. But dude, fried spam is epic. No camping trip, no Boy Scout outing was ever taken without spam. Spam and SpaghettiOs. So yeah, good choice. But yeah, so we are deep in here. Now here's my problem, and I really latched onto this story because of this one thing. Watch this sentence. Current and former USAID and State Department officials are using their expertise in undermining authoritarian regimes abroad against President Donald Trump and his agenda at home, according to New Report Monday. Anybody besides me see the problem with that sentence? What were we told about USAID the whole time Trump was shutting it down? Going after all their fraud, all their bullcrap funding. We were told it's U.S. aid. They're just an aid organization, is what all the leftist and deep state people were screeching. Oh my God, he's destroying an aid organization. But now look, the mask is off. And this is not just Fox News saying this. This is all over, and they're not changing this. They are leaving this sentences right here. They're leaving that. That is in everywhere. So USAID, after they're screeching and whining, oh, it's an aid organization. Bullshit right there. Shows that they were all about regime change. They were slush fund and CIA people. This was people going around screwing with other countries, causing problems, getting us into bullcrap wars, getting everybody mad at us. I mean, like I said before, do you really think they were spending so many millions to bring tourism to Egypt? Or this many millions on some trans opera? No. It was just what they wrote down. That money was going to do that shit right there. Regime change. It was screwing around with the governments of other countries, buying weaponry, I'm sure. That's what it was. And now the mask is off. 100%. The Trump administration is still in the process of terminating thousands of United States Agency for International Development workers. Yeah. So these people are going to screw around with us. Every one of them, sedition, maybe even treason charges, arrest, jail. Done. The American people, Democrats, and the deep state don't give a fuck what you, me, and everybody else in this country voted for. Okay, the majority voted for. We voted for Donald Trump to do this, 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 and this. And Epstein, which he's failing on, and we'll talk about later. Trust me. But we voted for this stuff, and the deep state and the Democrats are looking at you going, screw you. Screw you. We don't give a shit. We do not give a shit what you want, what you voted for. We do not want it, so too bad. And now they're getting violent. They're going to do illegal shit, undermine this government, undermine our president, and undermine your votes. So, yeah. This is BS. 100%. Notice reporter Jose Pagliari reported, however, that some of the democracy-building experts President Trump fired this year from USAID and the State Department are now reapplying the skills and knowledge they built up over decades to undermine Trump's power. But they thought they were just aid workers. And I'm going to say, once again, to toot my own horn, just like the other night when we were talking about, all this other crap in Texas and Epstein stuff before any other channel, and we were the ones doing it. I'm going to toot my own little channel horn. That video got taken down. We were talking about stuff before. Now we are talking about something right here. I'm sure maybe somebody has. I saw nobody writing or talking about the fact that now USAID workers, they're supposedly just aid workers, are openly saying they're going to use their regime change skills against the Trump administration. Yeah, they've openly said it. They've set up like an Instagram page and some other stuff and a couple of their chat groups where they're just talking about it. How they're going to do this. And you're only invited. You got to be invited. And there's only certain people getting into these groups. It's like, ooh, but it's known. You think somebody in our government could be doing something about this? I do. So yeah, but I've seen nobody else make that connection. Go, hey, wait a minute, USAID. Thought you were just aid workers. Kind of shows bullshit, doesn't it? I can't stand Jay Waters. I can't stand the lying and gaslighting. We'll get into Epstein a little bit. I'm not going to do Epstein yet. We're going to save Epstein for near the end because I'm going to use what's left of my voice on that. But we'll get there, Jay Waters, and trust me, don't get too far ahead this time. This isn't going to be the longest stream, guys. I'm going to try to keep this an hour and a half. We'll see how I do. All right, so yeah. One anonymous current federal official warned to notice, take it from those of us who worked in authoritarian countries, we've become one. Really? Really? Were we? Are we? The current administration was clearly elected. Overwhelmingly elected. How are we an authoritarian country? Authoritarian countries don't have elections. Nothing as open as ours was. Come on. This is the ass hurt, the butt hurt, the gaslighting, the lying, the total in fear of losing all their power bullshit. 100%. You've just released a bunch of well-trained individuals into your population. I have a particular set of skills. If you kept our offices going and had us play solitaire in the office, it might be safer to keep your regime. Just a little bit of something out there to you left-tards and you deep state pieces of crap. A regime is not the duly elected administration. A regime is what you had the last 4 years, the Biden administration, that we're supposed to believe got 81 million votes, when even other lefties since then have looked at the voting record totals for decades before Biden and then right after Biden, this election, and gone, oopsie shit, did we maybe steal that election? Where'd all the other voters go? Oopsie. Yeah, even some lefties now openly admit they stole that last election. So the Biden administration was a regime. Change my mind. Screw you, Tim Pool, who always says it was just because of COVID and hatred. No, I am going to reject that. And by the way, I do actually respect Tim Pool, but when he's wrong, I'm going to say fuck that because he's really wrong in this case. So yeah. Oh, let's see. Let's catch up with you guys. You know I spend most of my time talking to you guys anyway. All right. Let's see. Texan. There's an evil entity that we cannot comprehend that has control over the world's governments. We will never know how deep this really goes. You know what, Texan? I would say a lot of it is the World Economic Forum and the people who go to Davos and some of the other groups. Yes, there are groups trying to control the world. Yes, 100%. 100%. I don't want to act like I'm wrapping tinfoil because I don't think we have to anymore. Everybody knows there is definitely people higher up trying to control everything. The very fact that our media covers for so much of this shit, and now we're trying to act like they're purveyors of truth still after the last 10 years of what they've done to Trump. People got all these awards. Oh, we got all the awards for writing about Trump and his Russian ties. Give those awards back. Then we'll start off talking about your honesty. None of the shit they've said about Trump has been true, and they keep doing it. So yeah. And our media also has a report. They tell Americans, you're the only ones that don't like all these immigrants coming into the country. It's just America that's being bad. Don't talk about the shit going on in Ireland. Don't talk about how the UK's getting buried and tired of it. Don't talk about all the other first world nations getting buried. Yeah, don't talk about all the riots and other problems going on in other countries. Just America bad. It's controlling people. So I agree with you, Texan. There is definitely controllers out there. Hey, Celtic, what are you guys doing up late? Guys, gals, whatever. Celtic Spirits Coven, we are listening as we debate atheists on the... Oh! Go get them. Go get them. Go get them, Celtic Spirits Coven. Go get them. I'm not a big follower of any set version of Christianity. I will call myself a Christian, but I do not subscribe to an exact version of Christianity. I do definitely believe there's got to be something else. There's got to be something else. I do believe that. I think there is a God or gods or a creator or something. I do. I think there's something beyond us. So go get them, Celtic. Kick their butts. And honestly, about 10 years ago, you would have been kicking my butt. Because I don't know if I ever consider myself atheist. I believe if you look back at my other channels, I consider myself agnostic. But I've definitely moved. Definitely moved. So feel free to throw them flip-flops at me. But no, I always call myself usually agnostic. All right, Bunny. What is up? What is up, Buckle Bunny? How you doing, Connie? Take the dance floor and two-step. There you go. All right. ACB. Whoa. Do a couple vertical streams if you want more subs. You know what? ACB, I appreciate that, but I don't even know what that means. I'm a dumbass. What is a couple vertical streams? I don't even know what that means. Like I said, I'm a dum-dum. Strangely, because I've been streaming on YouTube off and on for 10, 12 years? More? Oh, wow, more. More. Holy gods. I mean, I started my first YouTube channel probably 15 plus years ago. Woohoo! So, yeah, if you could explain that to me, ACB, I might try it. But you have to kind of talk down to my level. I'm very dumb. I'm a dum-dum. I'm not saying I'm something special. Texan, have you seen the riots in Mexico where the Mexicans are running tourists out? Yeah, I heard about that. Woo! Bold move, Cotton. Let's see how this works out for them, huh? To quote the meme everybody throws around on YouTube, from an amazing movie, by the way. But yeah, that's a bold move. chase out tourists in Mexico. That's great. Oh, okay, through a cell phone. I did, if you look back on even on this channel, I did do the shorts, playing their game on their shorts. And I haven't done a used cell phone stream, an actual stream, since, God, my last 2 channels that I had. But that's not a bad idea, ACB. Yeah? So you're calling it vertical stream because you want, they're like doing this, holding the phone like this now? Which drives me kind of nuts because I think we have these cool widescreen phones. But hey, that's just me. Oh, you're getting thunderstorms? Well, send them our way. We could use a few more thunderstorms, Bunny. But okay, thank you, ACB. You know what? I might look into that because I used to love mobile streaming when I was doing urban exploring. And on my last political channel, I did do some mobile streaming. I loved it when I was urban exploring from inside an abandoned place. It's great. But that's a great idea. Thank you very much. Well, yeah, YouTube pushes a lot, ACB. But after what they did to my stream the other night, I'm a little bit effed about what they're really pushing these days. They're kind of jackasses. Checking in over on Rumble. Oh, hey, everybody on Rumble, let me get you the link to the YouTube stream. Because if you don't have an account on Rumble but do want to talk, you can always stop over to the YouTube stream. Because a lot more people have YouTube accounts. So there it is. I see you guys over on Rumble. Thank you for stopping in. All right. So, ACB, thank you very much for that. I will consider doing that. I used to do garage videos from my phone when I was working on cars and stuff. So, yeah, and walking the dog. So I may go back to that. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I got all my setup. I got my little hand tripods. I got all that stuff around here. Like I said, I've been off and on streaming on YouTube for like 15 years. All right, so Jay Watterson also not falling for the de facto amnesty they're trying to push. I don't think Trump's going to do that. Yes, it was one of the things I did kind of want to talk about tonight, but I got so much in a certain amount of time. But yes, the de facto amnesty they're trying to push it's not true MAGA people from what I've found out, I don't think it's true MAGA people. I think it's more of definitely the lefties. The Democrats are desperate to keep these people. That is why their little foot soldiers, their smooth-brained, brainwashed morons out there are now out there causing violence. They are openly attacking, which is what we said was going to happen. Even on this channel and a lot of other people, rather saying all this violence was going to keep amping up and getting worse. The left they're desperate, they're violent. They've always been the violent side, and it's only going to get worse, and it is. One cop had a bullet through his neck. Another bunch of morons, 11 or 12 morons, set up premeditatedly, set up an ambush to off ICE agents. That is crazy. Hiding in the woods with a rifle, others are drawing them out. That is insane. Only thing that's funny is they picked the wrong group to do it on. They picked the ICE tactical unit. That's like the SWAT team for ICE in that area. Good plan, guys. Because those are not the guys you want to fudge with. Lefties just think they're so intelligent. We will take them down. Soy power, Come on. Holy crap. What is wrong with these people? Drink a Red Bull or something before you go think this stuff up. Maybe look at who you're taking down, dummies. Woof. All I can say is, nice job. Got one of themselves deleted. These lefties just feel there are no consequences. And that's where I think another place, like I said, Trump has fallen down, guys. They're not arresting and prosecuting enough of these people doing this stupid shit, doing illegal shit. You gotta start making our laws our laws. Not just for illegals, for our citizens. Not just for one side, for all sides. Imagine if Republicans were doing something like this. Come on, they've never forgot about J6. How is this not an insurrection? Lefties setting up an ambush drawing them out, waiting with rifles. How is that not an insurrection against government agents? Holy shit. Half of what the left is doing right now is insurrection-y, real insurrection-y. And they're using more weapons than anybody had in all of J6. I mean, jeez. Insane. Insane. So, yeah. Yeah, de facto amnesty, though, Jay Waters. I know I didn't get through your full comment, but man, oh man. Yeah, there's a lot of crap going on here. Bunny, we haven't had enough storms. GTR, what is up, buddy? Well, Democrats definitely love their slaves. Democrats have never lost the love of their slaves. And unfortunately, black people have been their slaves ever since, well, slavery supposedly ended. They went the way of Democrats and bid on that plantation because Democrats keep promising them free stuff. They only come to the black people anymore every 4 years. Other than that, they don't really want to talk to them. So, yeah, Barack Obama, the great black hope. Well, yeah, I hate to tell you this, but Donald Trump's done more for black people than Barack Obama ever did. And by the way, I'm tired of calling Barack Obama black. He wasn't black. He was 50-50. That makes him just as much white. I'm tired of this. If you got 5% black, 95% white, you're still a black person. No. 50-50, black person. No. You're a mixed race. Deal with yourself. How you doing, GTR? So yeah, this deep state stuff against Trump, I just loved it. I loved how everybody missed the fact that USAID, that was supposedly an aid organization, is now admitting they were undermining the authoritarian regimes and can turn it against our people. Good job. It's in the open. All right. So, moving on, guys. Moving on. Keep you something to pay attention to while you're eating your Spam and eggs. Damn it, now I want Spam. Thanks, dude. What do you guys think of this? I want your honest opinions. Well, actually, I'll take your dishonest ones, but no, I want your opinion. What do you guys think of this? Conspiracy. FBI launches probe into ex-bosses John Brennan and James Comey. Here's why. Do you really need to be told why? James Comey is a dirty deep state piece of shit. He is very dirty deep state. That man sat there, oh, well, we know Hillary did all this illegal shit, but we're not going to charge her. Who would ever charge her? You're kidding. She broke law upon law upon law upon law. She screwed with our elections. That was clear election tampering. She lied. She paid money to do this stuff. I mean, holy shit. She broke so many laws, let alone the Records Act laws, let alone defying subpoenas and destroying stuff. And then James Brennan, that asshole, no, we're not spying on Congress. And then it was proven they were. Let alone signing shit saying, yeah, the whole Hunter laptop is definitely Russian. Oh, you assholes. So yeah, I mean, what the crap? All right, doesn't matter what they call it, a worker program visa. Yeah, it's a way to control and enslave cheap labor, 100%. H-1B, I don't mind. After all of our own people that we have that can fill those jobs, fill them. Until every American that has the training, skills, whatever it is, to do those jobs, we don't bring in any people to do them. All that is then is skipping over the American people for cheap labor. So yeah, okay. But personally, I think damn right these guys need to be investigated. They are dirty pigs. 100%. Won't let me highlight. Oh, that's weird. Hadn't had a page up where it won't let me highlight. Ooh. But yeah, James Comey, I mean, it's well past due for these guys to be investigated. I mean, how much investigation do we have to do? Both these guys, Brennan lied to Congress That is still on multiple videos on YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey. You pick your platform. It's everywhere. There are news articles that have admitted he lied. There is actual government documents. You go Library of Congress, pull it up, where he lied to Congress. Lied directly. Screw him. Jail his ass. Comey, we know he lied. He helped lie to the FISA court, was spying on Trump's campaign. Now they've come out and admitted that they were wiretapping their cell phone communications for Trump and a lot of his family. I mean, how do we not jail these POSs? This is, once again, our government officials just never, and I'm going to say any, Republican and Democrat alike, rarely ever see any consequences. I'll admit it's more on the Democrat side that don't see any consequences. That's why they're so arrogant and out there saying stuff. But, you know, Trump says it's going to be a bloodbath in the car industry. And they go, oh, my God, he's threatening. Shut up. So, yeah. Ryan, I haven't heard about the Comey probe yet. What are they investigating? Hope they go deep and use them next. Oh, buddy. What? Ryan, welcome, by the way. And by the way, what aren't they going to investigate on Comey? They know he lied to keep the FISA, to get those FISA warrants. They know he knew that Hillary's crap was made up and fake. They know, they've proven he lied about Trump being involved with Russia. He helped try to rig an election. He broke so many laws. What don't we investigate, Ryan? And like I said, Brennan lied to Congress. Under oath, he lied. So, all right. FBI has opened criminal investigations into former CIA director and John Brennan, former FBI director, and former FBI director James Comey over alleged misconduct. Alleged? How much do you have to do that is on public record, on thousands and thousands of videos, tons of documentation proven since, James O'Keefe has proven it 1,000 times since. How much before we can say not alleged? How about just, yeah, let's arrest these pricks. My gods. When this asshole Brennan is under oath and lied right to Congress, he should have been arrested right then. They found out days later he was lying his ass off. Why wasn't he arrested then? Once again, they never, ever want to hold each other accountable because then they're afraid if they do some scurvy shit, they'll be held accountable. Two DOJ sources familiar with the matter, God, I hate that thing, described the pair's conduct as a conspiracy. Yes. How about sedition, at least? We need to start throwing that word around more. Sedition and treason. They love this conspiracy. They don't want to say sedition and treason. They don't want to say those two words. It's verboten. They don't want to say it. But it's sedition, what they did, at the least. And includes allegedly making false statements to Congress. Allegedly? Allegedly? What do you mean allegedly? Brennan's on the record lying. That's not alleged. We know Comey lied to him too. No, I didn't falsify these records to get these FISA warrants. No, we weren't spying on the Trump campaign or Trump's people. Yeah, you were. Prick. Both of you pricks. The investigation into Brennan follows CIA Director John Ratcliffe's recent declassification of a lessons learned review of the 2017 intelligence community assessment, which concluded Russia interfered in the 2016 election to benefit Trump, which we all know was a lie. It's been proven Hillary was fined a paltry $200,000 for doing it. However, the review revealed the assessment was hastily assembled, marred by procedural anomalies, and deviated from established intelligence protocols, and Biden and Obama had a briefing in the Oval Office that is on record about the fact that Hillary was doing this, and they all knew it was fake bullshit. The review found that including the discredited Steele dossier in the 2017 intelligence community assessment, it was a bought and paid for thing, violated core intelligence standards and damaged its credibility. Did they really have credibility before this? How many jokes have been out there about intelligence in the government. Come on. Whatever, intelligence community. My ass. It also marked the first official acknowledgement by CIA career officials of political influence in the ICA's creation. Really? Once again, anybody that didn't think the CIA was meddling, let me sell you that beachfront property to the Atlantic Ocean in the middle of Nebraska, because you'll buy it. I actually know somebody who said, well, the U.S. government recently, our government would never do anything not in our best interest. That's their whole reason of being there. They're just there because they're good people. Fuck. Dude, where are you living? Revealing that Brennan pushed for the dossier's inclusion. He also said, remember, Hunter's laptop was Russian disinformation. Despite later testifying to Congress that he opposed it. He also said they weren't spying on Congress under oath when they found out later, yes, they were spying on them and had bugged all their computers. Look that one up. Man was a liar. The CIA has its hand so far up our government's ass, he can flip you off through its mouth. The investigator Brennan's false statements is linked to a newly declassified blah, 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 blah. All right, so despite these objections, Brennan showed a preference for narrative consistency over analytical soundness. They go into, he just always went to one side, strangely. And then this is what got him all those warrants to spy on the Trump people. Brennan ultimately formalized his position in writing, saying that my bottom line is that I believe that the information warrants inclusion in the report. Yep. Now, as for Comey, so far, they are saying they're not saying exact focus of it. I think because with Comey, we've got even more to go on than we do with Brennan. Comey is behind. He was one of the fixers back then. He poo-pooed, shot down, crapped on, wiped his ass with investigations back then. The Hillary thing was by far the worst. That woman, yeah, and by the way, I don't want to say the word out loud because YouTube might be looking for a reason to take me down again like they did the other night. I am perfectly happy with being alive. Let's put it that way. So if I bow and arrow myself in the back twice, please call bullshit on that. That is what one of the people that went against the Clintons did. Somehow he offed himself in the back with a bow and arrow. Another guy capped himself in the back of the head twice. Weird. Look that shit up. Another guy who was scared of even bathtubs. Never had a bathtub in his house. Would only shower once a week. Somehow went swimming in the ocean and drowned. Weird, huh? Weird. So I am very happy being alive, just to let you know. So yeah, James Comey, there's a lot to investigate. Tons. So far we don't know what they're doing there. So let me catch up. All right, I am behind on the chat. Let me get back up here. Harry Mountbatten, Windsor. Oh, God. Connie, you got to stop reading about the royal family. They're not our royal family. We booted them. Read about our royal family. Oh, those investigations should have already been going. You are 100% right, and I knew you were going there, buddy. That's why I made sure to include this, because that is one of the theories going on. This is what Jay Waterson's saying right there. That's why I told not to get ahead of me, buddy, because I knew. You and I, man, it's like I'm Schwarzenegger, you're DeVito. Of course, could be the other way around. I've never met you, but yeah, we are twins, bud. You were getting ahead of me, but that's where I was heading with this. Some people are definitely saying that this is a distraction from the Epstein client list. But I talked to somebody earlier, said no, the documentation on these investigations was filed about a month or two ago. So, if that's true, it was already in the works. Shitty coincidence, or they decided to announce it now. Either way it does, it looks like it was already in the works. But I do agree that it should have been done a long time ago. If we had a government worth its weight in what we pay for it, when Brennan lied to Congress, when Comey lied to Congress, they would have been arrested back then. I don't give a shit what party you are or aren't. You lie to our Congress. You lie on the floor of the people's house to our representatives. Means you are lying to us, the people. When you screw with our elections, you are screwing with our elections. You are disenfranchising our votes. You should automatically have been arrested for breaking your oath like that. You took an oath to tell the truth. You lied. They busted you, and nothing got done. So I agree 100%. Jay Watterson should definitely have been going on. And I think the announcement, whether or not it was going to happen anyway, does not help the Epstein thing. Trust me. Ryan's going to help Bunny with her Meghan Markle. Oh, man. Ryan, don't feed that beast. GTR, for those of you who don't know, is a UK resident. So, yeah, he's going to... Man, a lot of people in the UK do not like Meghan. Hell, they don't like Harry that much himself. Meghan is very unpopular. Let's see. Let's catch up here. I'm just going to catch up with you guys. I'm trying to read. I don't like discounting stuff. It's kind of why I worry in a way. In a way, I don't want my channel to grow too much. Because Bunny was on some of my old streams on my other channel where sometimes I had 78. I think my top stream I had like 85 or 90 people. And I was still trying to read everybody in the chat and keep up. It got rough sometimes. Sometimes a small channel has an advantage. Okay, let's see. Donald Trump lost more credibility today than from all Democrats' efforts the past decade. Yeah, my thing is with Donald Trump and the Epstein thing, Trump doesn't care about it. We may look at it and it means, I don't think Donald Trump realizes how much it means to average people out here. To him, it's a small potatoes thing. I know Trump doesn't think kids getting messed with is a good thing. But Donald Trump right now is looking at saving our country and maybe parts of the world right now. He's dealing with things that are insane. We have ICE agents getting ambushed. We have him trying to get 20 to 30 million people out of here. He's also still dealing with deep state attacks against himself. He's dealing with threats. He's dealing with wars. I understand this isn't good, and I don't like it myself. So feel free to throw them flip-flops at me. I'm not flip-flopping. I do not think Trump is handling this well. Actually, and I'm not even going to put this totally on Trump. This is Pam Bondi's job. Donald Trump is doing what he thinks he's needing to do to save the country and save the world, possibly. And to him, the Epstein thing is not quite on his radar. It's not what he's focused on. A lot of us out here are. But Donald Trump is the one trying to bring this country back. Our economy, dealing with tariff issues. He's still negotiating with some of these people. He's gotten some more deals. They don't want to talk about that. He's dealing with the economy that has come up. Oh, the lefties hate that. He's trying to deal with these illegals. He's dealing with so much. So I get it. And I feel that same frustration and annoyance. The person I'm mad at, or people I'm mad at, is Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino. Those are the ones I'm freaking livid at. You can't be Dan Bongino, who goes on TV and radio thousands of times and is saying, no, Epstein did not off himself. And yes, there's a list. They get in there, Pam Bondi, I've got the list. Now they're trying to change the wording today. No, that's not what she meant. She said the list. She said it multiple times. And then Bongino, when Bongino and Patel, we talked about it in this channel, were doing their little prisoner look interview where they're like, yes, He did end himself. We saw the videos. They both looked scared shitless. There are body language experts that have gone over that and said they look scared shitless. And a guy like Bongino, who is a showman, who has his own video show and radio show and does it all, been doing it forever, to be that stiff, to act the way he did, is what's throwing a lot of people. So I really have to wonder if there's been some JFK type stuff going on with them. Hey, you got family? Wow, that's a beautiful family you got there. Wow, so glad nothing has happened to those family members. Boy, those family members are going to live a long life, aren't they? Shit. I don't know how many of us could sacrifice our family members for something that's already happened. I know it's horrible, but how many of us out there, if we have sons, daughters, wives, mothers, fathers, nieces, nephews, how many could sacrifice them all for that? I don't know. Am I saying this is right? But no, I don't think this is really on Trump's radar. That's why he was annoyed today. He has so much what he considers a bigger issue. Yes, the whole Epstein thing is horrid, but Donald Trump is considering the life of a whole country or multiple countries. It's bigger. Whether we like it or not, whether I want to admit it or not, in my own heart, it's bigger what he's dealing with. But the people under him he's hired that are supposed to be dealing with this are screwing the pooch on it. They're doing this badly, looking bad, making him look bad. It's stupid. But what do you notice, though? You don't notice the Democrats are out there throwing a fit about this. The Democrats are not. Tells you a lot that the Democrats aren't using this against Trump ad nauseum. They would be screeching about this, but I don't think they want it out. I think they want to keep everything as hidden as possible. But my biggest dislike right now is for Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and yes, I'm sorry, Dan Bongino. Am I privy to everything? No, but he acted. I've watched a lot of Dan Bongino. A lot. Listened to a lot. That was weird for him. I tried to make excuses during the stream where we talked about it. Maybe he was tired. Or just annoyed to be in there. No. Man knows how to work to a camera, knows how to do interviews. He's worked at Fox News. Done his show. Something was weird. Something was weird. But no, I do think that this just isn't on Trump's radar. And I know that's going to piss some of you off. Well, that should be his number. No, he's thinking of keeping a whole country going. He's thinking of trying to get these people out of here and trying to get things better. And I know it's not great. I don't like it, but I don't know. I don't think that Epstein can be his focus. I know it's bad. That even I will be annoyed and look later, dude, you should have done this. But in the scheme of things, I can understand it from his point of view. From his angle of dealing with so much of the world that to him probably seems small potatoes. To us, it really isn't. But I don't know with everything he's dealing with. Should not have campaigned on it then. You know, no reply. I can agree. And by the way, welcome, buddy. I agree, but you know what? Trump's not perfect. I will say that Donald Trump has kept more campaign promises and done more that he said he would do than any president in my lifetime. In fact, I'll say than any 3 presidents in my lifetime put together has kept. But he can't be perfect. He's going to have mistakes. Some are going to be big. Some are going to be nasty. Some we aren't going to like. If you're looking for perfection, go join Thomas Massey. Massey and the libertarians, they don't want to sign or do anything if it doesn't get them everything they think we should be doing. It's all or nothing with them left with the libertarians. And I don't like them because of that. I like Massey to a point. But I think Massey is, I want it all or nothing. So I don't know. All right, let me catch up. He's not done himself any favors. I agree. 100%. 100%. I agree with Bunny on that. Okay, Jay Waters and Trump may have other things on his plate, but the buck stops with him. It does. And I'm not making excuses. I'm saying this even looks bad to me. That even I, seeing this from above and seeing it from his angle, can say that, wow, to him it might seem like small potatoes. That he really feels we all need to be concentrating on the bigger picture stuff to him. But even I said it hurts me and I don't like it. So I agree. But yeah, the buck does stop with him. I don't know. But the thing is, we don't know if the list still exists, honestly. I'll tell you right now, if I was somebody who was involved in the Epstein stuff or trying to cover it up, that list wouldn't exist. It wouldn't. I mean, come on. I had a friend who was, years ago, who was cheating on his wife. He was texting all the time, I found out, with this chick. What happened? He was deleting the text. She never knew. You don't want to keep your incriminating evidence around. There are a lot of people who say that shit's been gone forever. Or if it's still around, it's with the higher-ups. Now we can talk. We can talk about what the other side of our thought on this is. That, yeah, they have this stuff, and they actually had to sit down and think. We have insane evidence and leverage against insanely powerful people. Do we want to give it up? Yeah, that's what some people are thinking. That, yeah, they've got this stuff. That it really exists. The list is there. They can identify people, and that they're going to keep it and use it as leverage. I don't know. Is it the right thing to do? It would depend on in the future. Okay, let's say, hypothetical. Let's say we find out 50 years from now that, yes, the Trump administration had this stuff, got it, and then once they got into the list, found out who these people were, that they did keep it quiet and use it. History would only look kindly on if what he got these people to do was worth hiding this. And I know some people say, there's nothing worth it. There may be. There may be. Being able to keep this country together. Being able to stop a war somewhere that kills 100,000 more people. Maybe. It would depend. Because if it comes out that they hid this and nothing good came of it, nothing that could balance those scales, then that's going to be looked at horribly. But if there's something they could use that for to balance the scales, maybe make some good come of it, like saving the lives of another 70,000 children, maybe, saving this country, keeping our kids fed, keeping us out of wars, I don't know. That's just a supposition, guys. I'm not flipping, I'm not flopping. I don't like it either, but I'm trying to play devil's advocate from a bigger picture. And I'm trying to tell you guys what some other people are thinking on this. So yeah. But that's just me. And maybe the files aren't there. Maybe he really did want to release them, gets in there, and there's not shit. There's not shit. Or maybe you got to think of it this way. There's a lot of people, including myself, who said that we didn't like Pam Bondi. There were some of you guys in this chat, in fact, I think one or two of you here tonight, who said that Pam Bondi was too close to deep state. That she might be a little deep state. What if Pam Bondi scuttled this and got rid of stuff? What if? What if? Checked on you guys on Rumble. Thank you for being here, by the way. I just looked over on you. Feel free to chat or come on over. That link in there is to the YouTube chat. But yeah, I think that what if Pam Bondi? And there's a lot of things we have to think about here. Maybe Trump is not know. He doesn't know. He can't keep track of everything. The guy is amazing. He has more energy than anybody I know at that age. But damn. All I say is we can't expect perfection. There's gonna be mistakes when you're moving this much, this fast, and doing so much. He's trying to do more in 2 years than I'd say the best three presidents in my lifetime before him, or hell, the last 80 years. 80 years have done together in their whole administrations. It's going to have some problems. Not trying to make excuses, just, Jesus, I don't know. Don't like it. Don't know what to do about it. Don't know who to hold account, but yes, shit does roll uphill and Trump's the uphill. All I can say is, what would you like him to take his eye off of? Would you like him to take the foot off the gas pedal on getting all the tariff stuff fixed? Would you like him to take his foot off the gas pedal on getting the illegals out? All the lawsuits that you have to deal with in the courts? All the bullshit Democrat stuff, the judges? There's still a defying Supreme Court. The trans issues still going on in the schools in spite of laws. What do you think he has time to back down from to spend so much more time on Epstein? Do not like Epstein. My only thing with Epstein, I guess the only thing I can say with Epstein is Epstein isn't a current, I know this is going to sound bad, feel free to get ready to be nasty with me. Epstein, as nasty as it is, and much as I wish the guy could be brought back, I can't say that on YouTube. But boy, imagine shit I can't say on YouTube that I wish we could do about Epstein. And anybody involved with Epstein, yeah, feel free. Let that mind wander to the nasty zone. Epstein, unfortunately, I can say is not what I would consider a pressing, current happening problem in America. As much as it's pissing all of us off, myself included, I cannot cuss Pam Bondi enough. She has handled this horrendously and proven she should not have her job. And my annoyance with Cash Patel, I'm annoyed with. Cash always said he kind of deleted himself. But Bongino, you go look back at Bongino's show, all the stuff he said, and now he just sat there like a prisoner. Yeah, I saw the video. Yeah. So, I don't know. Bondi's a compromise before Bush Gore. Yeah, see, I never liked Bondi. Jay Watterson, you might have been the one originally saying she was deep state. You might have been the one that back when we were talking about this. So, possibly. Let's see. All right. I would like him to stop focusing on all the wars in the world. The only reason he's focusing on the wars in the world is he's trying to stop them and get us away from them. Problem is, a lot of the funding in Ukraine is cooked in. He can't get us fully out of it right now for a good while. It's cooked in. And if Democrats take control of Congress in just over a year and a half, it's going to stay cooked in. Trump has removed us as much as possible from that, but now the problem is Putin knows he's kind of over a barrel. But my question is, how long can Putin keep this up? Longer than Ukraine, but this is damaging Russia to a point. Even Russia is losing soldiers. They're expending money. I mean, Russia's already been shown to be, compared to what they said they were, they've been shown to be a paper tiger. They're not as big and strong as they said they were. So, I don't know. All right. I think he's backed off on Israel a lot. I mean, he did go off on Netanyahu pretty rough. He got nasty when he cussed and said they don't know what the fuck they're doing. He was pissed. That was honest, true, open anger, and you could see it. The way his hands were clenched, his shoulders, he was mad. He was mad, and look how much we've backed way off since then. That was it. When they did that shit, they pissed Trump off. But so far, things have been going okay. So yeah, I don't want us involved in any of it. You guys know how I feel about it. I don't want us involved in any of this shit. But Trump has, compared to other presidents before him, he's really got it low ebb on what we're involved in. So, once again, we can't be Thomas Massey and go for perfect. Trump moves the needle to the positive. And unfortunately, we're going to have the bad. He's not perfect. But he has backed away from Israel a decent amount because of this. And I think Israel, even with all the people that back Israel, has damaged themselves in this. I really think so. When they had to go launch everything that next day and just piss with Trump, that damaged Israel. I've said that before. It damaged Israel in the eyes of a lot of Americans. So I don't think we are involved in Israel now as we were. Trump hasn't done a lot of talking about it. He's trying to deal more with the problems in America, honestly. Do you hear yourself delegating the release of pedo? No. I do hear myself. I hear myself 100%. But do you hear yourself? You're saying that's it. Epstein takes precedent over everything Trump is doing. Everything. Trying to save our country very much. He really is. Very much so trying to save our country. He's trying to pull us back from the brink that the Biden's handlers put us on. He's trying to pull us back from the brink that it will be going to again if the Democrats get Congress. He doesn't know. He's stuck. He's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. If he takes his foot off the pedal on this, then and goes to this, then this will blows up in his face. He's being hit from every side. I'm not supporting pedos. If you think I am, get the fuck off my channel. I am not supporting that. I said this pisses me off too, but I don't see where the man can win. I don't like how, once again, if I say that I can see it from another point of view, automatically I'm supporting pedos. I am not. But what is bigger? Honestly, what is bigger to this country staying alive is dealing with all the illegals here that Democrats are trying to use for votes. Why do you think they're trying to get amnesty right now? That will decimate this country. All the taxes they want to levy on us. All the other shit they want to do. Hell, look at my state of Illinois. Trying to do mileage taxes. Screw your Second Amendment. Tax you out to death. I don't like it. I don't like to admit it, but if I give you multiple scenarios, don't say I'm supporting a pedo. That's a step too far. I am not supporting a pedo. I am not supporting a pedo. You know what? But it doesn't. We don't know exactly if there's anything left to put out on Epstein. We don't know. Once again, nobody's going to believe whatever they release. It doesn't matter what it is. Nobody already believes what they released on JFK. I've seen people in this very chat say, I don't believe it. I don't believe that's everything. What if it is, but you're not going to believe it no matter what? What if the Epstein stuff is gone? I'm trying to give you both sides. Do I think it's all gone? Nope. Do I think somebody somewhere has it? Yep. Do I think it's automatically somebody in our government? Nope. Do I think it was the people that were running Epstein? Yep. And as I said the other night, I think Epstein was the underling. I think Ghislaine Maxwell was the biggin. She was the one that did everything and knew everything. I think she's the biggin. Or she's the top of the ones we'll ever see. As some of you said earlier on this chat, in this stream right here, there is a cabal ruling this world, or trying to, that we don't know about or see. That's who would have the Epstein stuff if anybody has. So I don't know. But I'm giving options, I'm giving scenarios. So feel free to throw the flip-flops or tell me that. Don't tell me I'm supporting pedos. Don't do that. I'm not doing that. I don't like it myself. All right. Yeah, I know he sent more weapons to Israel. He can't, or to Ukraine. He can't turn it down. Some of that's baked in. He can't just unilaterally say, nope, I'm not sending it. It's already been passed through Congress and approved. The money is there, the funding is there, the weapons are there. Done. That's beyond his range. Once again, separation of powers. Executive, judicial, legislative. Legislative has already run it through. It's done. That's law, as you would say. So the stuff we're sending there, he's greatly reduced, but we're still sending, and that's the way it is. We're embedded so deep in that, and we're stuck in. Unless Trump could get the Republicans, which is never going to happen. You have too many Republicans that are warmongers, not war hawks, warmongers that love that funding. The Democrats love the funding to Ukraine, and at least half of the Republicans. He will never get Congress to rescind that. So we're stuck with that level. At least they're not amping it up. Biden and Comey both wanted to amp it way up. We'd be in WW3 right now. So, yep. Okay. Let's see. The Israel thing, we dropped those bombs. That was a while ago, and that wasn't just for us. Trump is just for Israel. Trump has always said Iran can't have a nuke. He didn't just say that because of Israel. He said that because he doesn't want any of us getting hit either. He doesn't want them handing out dirty bomb stuff to proxies who will come drop it in New York or something. So yeah, come walk in with a backpack and light off a dirty bomb. So it wasn't just for you, Israel. He's always said Iran can't have a nuke, and it wasn't just because of Israel. All right, Celtic. A friend of Dan, this is multi-layered. Dan did not sleep well the night before. He had to hide some things. Well, Celtic, I watched a lot of Dan Bongino. I listened to a lot of Dan Bongino. I've kind of into the guy, and that was not something smells. And I know I'm being attacked for not just automatically thinking Epstein is the most important thing Trump should be doing. But I really do think something stinks with the Epstein thing. And I think that somebody came to, if not Bondi, but if not her, because she might be involved, but maybe Cash and Dan, and said, that's a beautiful family you got there. It's great that nothing happens to them. Stuff like that. And I asked earlier, and I didn't see anybody answering the chat, how many of you would automatically sacrifice your son, your daughter, your wife to release the Epstein stuff? Would you be looking at them going, sorry guys, I got to release the Epstein stuff, so you're going to get offed. Sometime in the next 2-3 years, something weird's going to happen to you. We don't know when. How many of you would just do that? How many of you would look at and it probably wouldn't just be your son, your daughter, and your wife. It'd probably be your nieces, your nephews, your uncle, your dad, your mom, who would all suddenly just, wow, weird illnesses, weird accidents. How many of you could look at them and go, yep, sorry. I'm going to release the Epstein stuff. You're all going to be croaked. A lot of people would be loath to do that. And I know I'm way behind in the chat. But I'm trying to talk to you. It's a woman in jail who did she traffic to. Yep. Oh, what do you mean no reply? What do you mean? Come on, Ghislaine Maxwell trafficked to nobody. She got convicted of trafficking, but trafficked to nobody. Yeah, we've said that before. It doesn't make sense. There are people here so big that I think to make our government as a whole look tiny. These are people that make the World Economic Forum and Davos people look tiny. So I'm not sure anybody could get all of this out anymore. You would have people mass disappearing. If you really got your hands on it, we're going to get it out there. Hey, go away, Jax. You can't do that. That hurts. Jax. Psst. So, yeah. He talks about stopping the war, and the war would never happen if he was president. It wouldn't have. If he was president back then, it wouldn't have happened. The problem is, we're already in it. We had 4 years of being stuck in it, 4 years of warmongers in Congress approving funding and putting it in place. They did that on purpose. In fact, if you look back at the news and in other pundits on YouTube and Rumble back then, they were talking about they were setting poison pills for Trump. They were codifying into law through Congress this funding. So Trump could not stop the war in Ukraine without Putin doing it, without getting Putin to agree to stop it. And problem is, Putin probably knows that. Because our media went and talked about it out loud, going, ha, 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 we got Trump. If he gets elected now, he can't stop the war. So Putin knows that shit. because of the Democrats and our warmonger righties. So he's stuck. Bibi was just in the White House today. Yeah. I don't think Trump was saying everything friendly to him either. I'm betting behind closed doors Trump had another what the fuck for him. Look back at how pissed he was. He was pissed. Don't get me going about the anti-Semitism laws. No reply, because you're not going to get any disagreement from me there. And I know I'm behind, but I'm really trying to keep up your guys' chats. I don't want to discount anything you guys are saying. Whether I agree or disagree, I don't care. I want to read everything from you guys. There's a lot of times you guys say stuff. I go look things up and read other stuff. Trying to learn. I'm just some dumbass sitting in front of a camera talking to you guys. I mean, I know much. But no, the anti-Semitism laws, I don't mind anti-Semitism laws in a way. I don't like how draconian they seem to be getting. How, oh my God, if you even breathe the words, I don't like Jews. Oh my God, anti-Semitism. No. We have certain laws to protect our religions and certain speech things you can't do or say, threatening people, but some of the anti-Semitism stuff I do not like. I really don't. I think it's going too far. I think a lot of it is, I don't know. I think too many people are worried. The new thing now we have to overcome. We overcame the racist, misogynist, all the ist crap. You're transphobe. That has no power over most people anymore. The one thing left that does is, because of the World War II, is the Jew thing. Unfortunately, that's one of the last ones we really got to overcome. The touchy little Jews. Sorry. I'm not going to apologize for it. Jews are really touchy. They're kind of arrogant jerks, too. Only marry within their own. I mean, you think I'm supporting Jews? Nope. I have some issues with them, too. I'm equal opportunity. All right, so Epstein's the big. Maxwell didn't give him the most expensive. If you realize how you do things, you don't put the big person up flashy big house. You don't put that person that's really important up in a big house, make them the target, make them the target of rivals, make them the target of government investigations. You put somebody smaller up in a fancy house. You have the decoy. Epstein might have been a decoy. And I'm not saying he was. I'm just saying he might have been. Ghislaine Maxwell handled tons of this shit. She was the fixer. She knows more than Epstein did. She handled more than Epstein did. But yeah. I don't... Oh man, that chat really jumped. Holy crap. Jeez, that jumped. My God. Sorry guys, that really jumped. Pam Bondi. Oh, dude, no reply. I'm not going to disagree with you about Pam Bondi. I think Pam Bondi's a piece of shit. I can't say it anymore on this channel. I call her Spamela Blondie all the time. I'm not saying Pam Bondi's great. You're not saying anything there that I didn't know. I know she said she had 10,000 files and truckloads. I know. I was the one calling her a moron to think that we're going to believe that when they handed her this little file folder, she goes, I thought I had everything. So, yeah. I've always said she was a POS. Release names and suffer the consequences. Yeah. Amnesty equals Democrat supermajority. Amnesty, oh yeah, 100%. Celtic, you're right. If there was ever an amnesty, if Trump ever, and I do not ever think Trump would do that. Trump's biggest thing he's been pissed about is our border and all the illegals. If Trump, now, let's just say, we're going to go into other world here. Welcome to the Twilight Zone. Okay. Let's just say the Democrats and Republicans get together in Congress and ram one through, though. That's a real fear. A lot of the Republicans like them here for the cheap labor. Democrats want them here for the votes. And we all know what I think. A lot of times it's uniparty. I think there's a chance that Democrats and Republicans will betray Trump, you and me, screw MAGA, and just go and do an amnesty. Trump will veto it. They'll override him. You can do that. So shit, that's what I'm worried about. I am truly worried the Democrats and the deep state rhino uniparty Republicans could go and do an amnesty. Now, if Trump backed it, yeah, I'd automatically be fuck MAGA. I'd be burning my hats. I honestly would. But if they do that to Trump and Trump fights it and tries to veto and stop it, screams about it on the air and can't do anything about it, shit. I'm not going to blame Trump. Oh, let's see. Release the names or suffer the consequences. If the names are out there, Jay Watterson, yes, I want them out. I do. Cash says he's going to the videos. By the way, you guys, we're really off track a little bit. Let's see. Republicans bend over backwards, Democrats in the big beautiful bill. They didn't bend over all the way, no reply. But I do think they gave up too much. I think, I know you guys have heard me say this before, at least the ones who've been here. I think we need a line item veto. Sorry, guys, a Rumble. I'm not ignoring you. I do see you over there. I'm checking on you. Feel free to chat, but I do see you there. All right. But no, I think we need a line item veto. I don't know how the Supreme Court says it's not legal to have a line item veto. From what little I know and I've read, a line item veto is 100% legal. It is no different than a president vetoing a whole bill. To be able to go through and line item, say, screw this bullshit spam, screw this here, it would clean our bills up. And then it would make every line that the president would veto would be blasted on the news when the Congress rats all had to go back in and say, no, we want this in. I think there should be a line item veto, but I think it has to go back to Congress then, and then they have to argue on national TV on why they want this spam, pork, and bullshit in these bills. It should be in our faces. That's why I want a line item veto. And then they have to argue to you and me in front of our faces while we're watching them dirty little pricks, not doing it at 2 a.m. in the dark, on how they get that shit in there and why it has to be in there. Yeah, that's what I want. All right. But no, the Republicans didn't give up everything, but they did give up too much. I will agree with that. But of course, what do I always say? The Republicans are pussies. No matter what we think about the Democrats will 100% use power when it's given to them, even to the point of insanity. They will back people like George Floyd and people who are diddling children who come here from other countries and diddling our kids. They will back them to the point of decimating their own party. That is the one power the Democrats and lefties have. They are knucking futs. They will back something no matter how horrid it is. If they believe in it, believes it's going to give them power, they'll back it. Republicans are scared to use power on even the shit they say they believe in. So that is why I'm neither a Democrat or Republican. Democrats are insane and evil right now. And Republicans are almost as evil because they're as big of pussies who won't stand up for their supposed beliefs. So yeah. All right. All right, let's see. Well, Jay Watterson, I know you didn't say I did, but what you're saying there is pretty much, do you hear yourself? That is pretty much intimating that I was supporting it. All right. Jay Watterson. Oh, buddy. Oh, yeah, Grok went off on a nice Jewish tirade today, didn't he? Oof, oof, oof. Epstein files keeps everything under wraps. They are allowed to operate with impunity. No reply. I do have a problem with that. I really do. Only thing I say, I'm just trying to see from another point of view. I openly said I don't like it. I'm angry about it. And I think it's going to cost Trump dearly. I think the Epstein thing is going to cost Trump dearly if he doesn't get a handle on this. Angry or not, whether he thinks from his point of view he's doing bigger things, he has to realize that to us down here, that is as big as maybe saving the country. To me, it's kind of a soul. Is our country worthwhile if we don't save the soul? He's trying to save the country. You and I are looking at the soul. So, yeah. And honestly, we have different points of view. We're down here dealing with the feel on the street and the soul and looking at our children. Trump's up there dealing with the whole country. You're going, Jesus, this country's in deep shit. So to him, it may not be in the same angle. We're looking at stuff from different ends of the spectrum, unfortunately. But, yeah, I don't like it. We are being ran by a bunch of politicians who are compromised by a secret entity. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No reply. The Texan was saying that earlier when he was cooking his spam and eggs before he went to bed. So, yeah, I agree. Guys, do me a favor. I haven't said it at all yet. Please get thumbs up for the stream at least. I need it after what YouTube did to me the other day, and I say that to you guys on Rumble. Rumble's a little slower tonight. Actually, YouTube is actually beating Rumble for once. A lot of times these late night streams, whatever I have on YouTube is doubled or tripled on Rumble. Weird. Rumble saved my butt the other night and kept my stream up. So they thought, that they did that one nice thing for me. All right. But yeah, we are banned by a bunch of people who are controlled and also have their own thoughts in mind. They're not there to. My problem with most of our government people is the words public service mean nothing to them. They are there saying public serve us. They think they are better than us. When they tell you, hey, how dare you talk to me that way? I'm a congressperson. Hey, fuck you. You work for us. Yeah, you're a congressperson. You are our mouthpiece. We say dance, monkey, dance, or vote for this. You do it. You are not above us. Yeah, how many times do you hear people in our government go, hey, I'm a so-and-so. I'm a mayor. I'm a congressperson. So the fuck what? Seriously. So the fuck what? That's like the guy in the mailroom telling the CEO of the company to get fucked. That's stupid. Every time they say that, I don't care if it's a police officer, DMV worker, congressman, or even the president of the United States, you work for us. And a lot of our government people don't like hearing that. They will tell you, I don't work for you, I work for this person. That person works for me. Well, no, they work for this person. That person works for me. I'm tired of our government doing this. All right. According to the Bible, a cabal does rule the world. The Antichrist, so it is in the... I'm not a big fan of the Bible, but there's times, could have got something right. What do rotten trees bear? Rotten fruit. Epstein keeps the trees rotten. Yeah? And I said no reply. I know this is before you got... I said this afterwards. We are seeing things from a different angle than Donald Trump is. He's seeing save the country. We're down here at the bottom end seeing save the soul. So we're seeing different angles. All right. I say stop following all laws, print guns. I don't know why that's illegal. I know I'm way behind, guys. I don't know why that's illegal. Printing firearms, once again, the Second Amendment shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed. If back then I could own a Gatling gun, a cannon, and a whole battleship, that is at least equal to me being able to print a firearm today. Totally equal. I can print my own firearm today, but back then I could own a battleship. There were private people that owned multiple battleships. Top of the line at the time. That is crazy. But oh my God, I can't print a pistol. Ugh. All right. I am way behind, but I'm going to try to... This chat just shot up, so I don't know what I missed. Not one Democrat in the House voted for it. No. The Democrats are a unit, whether we like them or not. They are unified. Republicans are pussies. That's why I have a problem with Democrats. I hate Republicans. I hate them because they're so wimpy. They won't do anything. Oh, no, they don't. The Dreamers, he was going to give amnesty to back in the day. He was going to help with the Dreamers. If anybody in this country deserves to say, it is some of the Dreamers. Some. But they wouldn't even take that. With the Democrats, it's all or nothing. And you got to respect it in a way. Do I like it? No. Do I wish there were more of the Republicans in that way? Yeah, I wish there were pussies too. But no, you got to respect that because they're like, fuck it. Fuck it. We will never back down off our insane principles. That is rough. That's Thomas Massey level. Yeah, I know. People get mad at me but I actually kind of like Massey, but there are times you need to back off a little. You need to be a little flexible, and he's pretty much all or nothing. It kind of sucks. Democrats want it for cheap labor, not just the votes. I think the Democrats want them more for cheap labor. I am not more for the votes. I think Democrats want them for the votes more than anything. Republicans for the cheap labor. I really think those are the priorities on each side. I really think Democrats want them for the votes because they want the power. Everything the Democrats and lefty does is power. That's why they can tell you the sky is blue today and the sky is green the next day. Whatever gets them the power. So, yeah, I think they really want the power more than anything. Republicans are pussies, as we talked. Republicans won't use power. Why do they need it? They won't use it. The Democrats will just walk all over them anyway, so they just want the money. That's it all. All right. Amnestying the Dreamers is not the same as amnestying 30 million people. Some Dreamers you could give an argument for. And that's what he was talking about. It was the Dreamers at the time. He tried to give an olive branch. And once again, don't get caught in the we get it all or nothing. That was Trump trying to get the majority good by, unfortunately, giving up a little bad. That's why our government used to work. We used to talk and negotiate. Each side wouldn't get everything they wanted, but at least we moved usually in a way that was better for the people. Do I like giving the Dreamers something? Nope. Do I realize it may be a necessary evil? Yep. Keep 1 million, lose 25 million. That's a fair trade, but Democrats won't even do that. Democrats are almost unable to be dealt with. And Republicans being pussies won't make them do anything. Yeah, Donald Trump used to donate to everybody back in the day. As a businessman, that's what you do. You cover your bets. Most big business people do that. Most big business people do that. Look it up. Trump's never denied anything like that. A lot of big business people give to both sides. So. I don't know what that is. Okay. Epstein is what's on everybody's mind. Yes, I know it is. But it doesn't mean it's the most important thing to the life of the country. Whether I like it or not, because I am like you, I am screeching about Epstein, or I wouldn't have even more stuff to talk about Epstein yet tonight. I have more to talk about on it. But unfortunately, whether I like it, you like it or not, it may not be the absolute most important thing in the world. It may not be the absolute most important thing to saving this country. I don't know. And once again, you guys are assuming that I have a belief. I've given you multiple sides. You don't know exactly what it is that I 100% go for, except that I'm telling you. I'm giving you multiple angles, so don't purport that I believe those angles. I've even openly said a couple times I'm playing devil's advocate here, or trying to see it from another angle. Doesn't mean I like or go with those angles. All right. You have to remember, at the end of the day, Trump is a businessman. Yes, 100%. That's exactly right, GTR. Businessmen donate to both sides. Yes, most of the time they do. They took DACA too far. Well, yeah, I agree. But once again, This is the last I'll say on this. If Donald Trump could keep the 1 million DACA people, but get Democrats to 100% agree to a wall and deportation of 20 million other people, you would say no? 20 million trade for 1 million is not a fair trade? If you would say no to that, then you should never be involved in our government. That's my opinion. Because sometimes you're not going to get everything you want. Sometimes you got to take a little shitty pill to feel better. 20 million out, keep a million. Do I like it? Nope. Am I a prick and would be booting them all? Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be pussyfooting around like Trump is. I'm a nasty prick. I keep saying go after the banks, go after the employers, go after any church that helps an illegal alien. That's me. Yeah, no reply. I'll agree with that. I don't think Democrat and Republican. I call it uniparty for a reason. I think a lot of it's political theater. One item bills only, 100%. 100%. Make Congress work. Now that is something we can get back to agreeing on. Congress should be doing their god dang fudging jobs. These bills that have 80 things on them are bullshit. Total bullshit. Yep, it should be one item. Hey, we're going to talk about the taxes on widgets. That's it. That's all that's on that bill. The next bill. Let's talk, and by the way, there wouldn't be as much wrangling either. One thing. No, they dazzle us with bullshit. They bury stuff in. They know they can't bury a bunch of the pork and bullshit in to a one topic bill. They can't do it. So they don't want that, ever. Each bill is not 100%. Agree totally. Republicans hold your head steady while Democrats cut it off. Now that's a good way to put it. Yes. Yes, 100%. In the past, Massey was flexible. It did get him somewhere, Jay Watterson. Massey, I believe, was flexible at the right times in the past. The problem with Massey is he's now at the point where he wants it all or nothing. And I'm having a problem with that. Rand Paul hasn't gone quite that far yet. Rand Paul still has flexibility at the right times. Massey has given up on that. Where Massey was flexible in the past, it didn't always work out, but a lot of times when Massey would back something, it did move the needle to the good for us. It really did. Unfortunately, Massey's become so rigid and inflexible now that he actually seems to help the Democrats more, and I don't like that. I don't like that. We can't have it all. No reply. I want to know what bigger thing he is doing. Like what? What do you mean? What do you mean bigger thing? I'm not disagreeing with Massey on everything. I don't know why you think, just because I don't like this thing Massey does, I don't agree with Massey on anything. Don't be absolutists, guys. There can be nuance. Two things can be true at once. I keep saying that. So just because Massey says that I make sense doesn't mean I agree with him on everything. I agree with part of it and I don't on everything. So yeah. Hey GTR, have a good one, buddy. Have a good day. High five any Irish person you see today, bud. That's some, man, they are going over there. I want to know what bigger thing he is doing. Trump? Trump doing much bigger things. I'm sorry, whether you like it or not, the immigration thing is a much bigger threat to this country's existence than the Epstein thing. Feel free to disagree, but it is, whether I like it or not, whether you like it or not, immigration, if not fixed, will destroy this country. The very fact that the Democrats are screeching and screaming and losing their collective damn minds about it, and now ambushing and shooting federal officers over it, says it all. They know that is the thing. It's a reason they've put up such a fight over this. It's a reason they tried to impeach Trump to stop this. It's a reason they tried to get him ended before he was elected to stop this. Do I like it? No. In a world that was equal, I'd say they both be equal. But the world isn't that way. Who are all the vegans, Democrats, are Republicans going to pick the vegan foods? What do you mean? I know a lot of people that used to work in fields that don't anymore because the farmers will pay the illegal immigrant crap money. There's a lot of Americans that will pick our crops. There are a lot of Americans who pick our crops. Yeah, there are a lot of Americans who will pick our crops, 100%. But don't get stuck thinking that just because I disagree with somebody on something or agree with somebody on something, I disagree or agree with them on everything. You know? I still think Ronald Reagan was a horrible president. He said a lot of good shit. There's a few things I agree with him on. I think Bill Clinton's kind of a piece of shit, but I actually think there's some stuff he did good in his presidency. Hell, I could even agree with one thing Barack Obama said that was good. So yeah. Yeah, I know they did. What about it? I know all about that. You don't think that's the first time? That's just the first time that it was openly talked about. You don't think that's happened in Congress before? Come on, look at Congress. Oh, they got in trouble for that, but just not as much as they should have. Not as much trouble as they should have. All right. Now, speaking of our immigration, I'm not going to get this stream to where I want it to be in time. Oh, Luke, we are changed. Yeah, I watched Luke Rukowski. All right, so a little bit of moving on, though. You know, oh, no reply. He may not get him out, but he's trying. At least trying better than anybody we've ever seen. He's trying. He's trying to ramp it up. It's getting nastier. The more he pushes, the more that gets pushed back. We are going to have police officers or immigration officers who are going to be killed because of this. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. Thing is, how hard do we push? He's trying. He's pushing harder every time. You can go look at the latest releases out there. People are pissed. They are going out to even more places trying to deport people. They are going after even more illegals now. Ever since the Supreme Court told these district court judges to get stuffed, they are going after more and more people. Will he get out 20 million people? I doubt it. Does that mean we should be fuck it and just let all of them? Let's get out every one of them we can. So it doesn't mean because he can't get 20 million. I mean, me personally, what I would do, once again, might cause an actual breakup of the country. I'd be pushing very hard, but then I'm not maybe realistic enough to realize that I would decimate the country. I'd end the country. Possibly. It might break our country up. So, I don't know. You can push only so hard until there's mass riots, and how many people are you willing to off? I'm just saying. In riots. It just becomes that point. It becomes a point where sooner or later, what are you going to call it? Just, open civil war? I don't know. I don't know where the line is, how hard you can push. He's pushing very hard right now. Once again, you got people ambushing and shooting police officers and ICE agents. That's pretty amped up. So he may not get 20 million out. He's trying. I mean, I don't know. Would you rather him just stop and give it up? Just asking. All right. Speaking of which, hey Dems and Lib Media mouthpieces, 2 ambushes on ICE in 4 days. You need to cool the rhetoric. Yeah, that'll happen. Immediately, right. 1 shooter had his ticket punched to the hereafter. 10 of your hired henchmen are now charged with attempted murder of a police officer they shot in the neck. Should also be attempted on the agents they tried to ambush. When you premeditate and set up an ambush, have a guy waiting in the weeds with a rifle trying to snipe them, that is first degree attempted. Right there. Done. They should never see daylight again. Send a message to all these lefties. There won't be a slap on the wrist. There won't be 6 months. It should be life in jail. Done. 100%. No reply. Don't worry about it. I go on rants all the time. Just because you guys are in the chat, just because we may agree or disagree, doesn't mean you don't have a right to go on a rant here. We aren't always going to agree. We're not always going to connect. We can argue back and forth. We can both get to rant, buddy. I'm not saying anybody comes to my channel get to rant back at me. My God, I'm fragile. I ain't that fragile. Rant away. Hell, for a lot of us guys, it's cathartic to come and rant. So feel free, bud. I'm not going to give you shit for ranting. We may agree or disagree, but you know what? That's the way it is. No, you're fine. Rant away. Come on, guys. How many times have we all gone on rants on here? It's not, oh, tissue paper cast. You know, it's LYONCAST or flip-flop cast. We can chat away. Rant away. Doesn't mean we're going to agree with each other, but yeah. Martino, what is up? They want to usher in the New World Order, one world government, technocratic beast system. Now, Martino, some of us have already been talking about the the World Economic Forum, WEC, and some of the other people tonight. So, yes, I would agree with you on that. The Democrats are definitely tear it all down, burn it all down, and a lot of their little smooth-brained dumbasses are just narcissistic haters who are just about the pleasure. They don't believe in anything. They don't believe in a God. They don't believe in a higher power. They don't believe in morals. They don't believe in a lot of stuff. It's all tear it down. Burn it all. That's all I don't know. They are the foot soldiers of people like the World Economic Forum and Davos and the people above them. We are on the verge of a technocracy. I don't think we're as much on the verge of a technocracy as we are on the verge of a dark ages. If we have a true, full civil war in this country, it will distract this country enough that the rest of the world, or the bad people out there, will take over. Besides decimating a lot of our country, it could ignite other wars, and we could see a type of global dark age for a while. We won't fall back to, medieval times, but we will fall back a lot. It will not be pretty. So I'm not sure technocracy. It depends how things go. All right, let me check over on Rumble. All right, still got people over there. Okay, Rumble's still there, just not chatting. But yes, I don't think the Democrats give a shit. This is going to get worse. We've talked about this even back with the Tesla fires. They've graduated. They keep graduating higher and higher and higher. It's only July, guys. It's July 9th. We still have the rest of July, August, September, till it starts getting really cold anywhere that chases their weenie butts back inside. We got 3 more months or so of this craziness, and they're amping it up. And now they are at the point where they are going to lay in wait and off ICE officers and police officers. Shit, I'll tell you one thing. I may not like the state I live in, but I do like the area I live in, the Quad Cities. We do not have a lot of this insanity here. Democrat and Republican alike, there's a lot of people that would not stand for this crazy shit here. And I am happy with this area for that. But woof. Due process is a right for everyone. Every citizen. Our Constitution and our Bill of Rights and most of our laws say clearly, under the jurisdiction thereof of the government of the United States. That means citizens. So yeah, kidnapped by ICE, hundreds unknown. They were illegals that none of these people knew before. These people knew none of their names before. This person holding up this sign, "Donde están? Where is this dude?" You know, he doesn't know this guy. Didn't know a damn thing about this guy. Just another leftard with hate in his heart and stupidity in his brain. Democrats say, "Go march." He goes, Democrats go, "You love Tesla. I love Tesla." Democrats next day, "You hate Tesla. I hate Tesla." There's nothing going on up there. It's all whatever gives them power, whatever gives these idiots something to do or something to channel their hate to. That's all it is. All right. We've only deported 100,000 people in the last 6 months. Actually, it's 120,000 and 1 million plus have self-deported. So I'm going to count that million plus. I'm going to count it at 1.1 million. Still something. It's still 1 million that were here before that aren't. So I'm going to count it as a gain. Is it the gain we want? No. I don't know. I tout the numbers at me. I know the numbers. I do. I know the numbers. A lot of the older people, that's why you see a lot of the Democrat protesters are really old. They are 70 plus years old, a lot of them. These are the people that still watch MSNBC and CNN and don't watch anything like this. I cannot explain YouTube to most of the people that are older than me. My parents and stuff. You know what I mean? Older. A lot older. Those 70 plus people, there are some that are really into it. But a lot of them are the Democrats out there rioting, protesting, throwing fits. And it's because they only get their media still from their little sources. That's it. They're stuck in CNN, stuck in NBC. They're the ones that sit down before they go to the Sizzler early breakfast, watch NBC nightly news. When's the last time you watched? I can't remember the last time I watched any of those people. You know, I'll look at clips and I'll watch once in a great while just to see what the dummies are saying. But that's what these people suck up all the time. I have family members who incessantly watch MSNBC. Oh, yeah. And how old are they? 75 plus. Yep. So, yeah. Yeah, well, no reply. Obama also didn't have people fighting him to do it. Somehow the Democrats didn't get shit under Obama because they hadn't figured out then whether their bread is buttered. Plus, they couldn't say anything to Black Jesus. Or second Jesus. If you want, regardless of color, you won't think Jesus is anyway. You can't go near the great God Obama. They couldn't have said no to Obama if they wanted to. They invested so much in him, they couldn't go against Obama. Even if they hated the deportations then, how dare you say anything against Obama? Their own identity politics works against them with Obama. Trump, it's pure hatred. Pure hatred programmed, and they know that they must have these illegals now. They know their whole power base depends on these. So it's comparing Obama's deportations to Trump's, not even close to the same thing. If you think it is, then show me all the district judges that did injunctions against Obama's deportations. Show me the people in Congress screeching against Obama's deportations. Show me Obama having to wait for the Supreme Court to get off its ass and stop the tomfoolery. How many times did Obama have to wait for other courts to say, yeah, you can do your actual powers? It's not the same thing. That's like comparing a 1987 Honda Accord to a brand new 2025 Corvette Stingray. Not the same thing. And you need about 13,980 deportations a day almost. And they're only doing like 3,000 a day. Yep, we did the math here before. 13,980 deportations a day to get them out. So I know the numbers, guys. We talked about them on it before. Well, you know what? I know he may only get $2 million, but how does he do any better? I've had suggestions. I like my suggestions. I think go after the banks. You tell them any illegal alien with a bank account here, we're seizing that money, then we're going to fine you for that. And then you go to any business hiring them and you make it stick. You say, if you are a business and you are having an illegal alien, if you're a small business, it's going to be a $100,000 fine. It'll put you out of business. If you're a big business, it's going to be $50 million per illegal. Actually, I'd say $100 million per illegal for big business. You want to get the illegals out of the meat processing plants? Done. Done. It's hard to deport when everybody is fighting him. When you have whole cities, there weren't whole cities and states telling Obama, no, you can't deport these people. Trump has that. It's not the same. Imagine if they backed off on Trump like they did Obama. They didn't talk about it, didn't do anything. Trump just got free reign. Poof, they'd be gone. I will say this. I think the 1 million that's self-deported is a low number. I think that's being conservative. I think it's closer to 2 million or more. I know in my area, if I go through the Quad Cities, every borough where we all know the illegals live is very, very sparse. There are homes for sale in those areas. There are less than a quarter of the cars parked in those areas. There are tool sales, furniture out on curbs. There's a lot going on. I don't think Russia is going to be invaded by... I don't think Russia is going to be invading us. They got enough problems. Mexico, no. Now, China, North Korea, and some of the other BRICS nations, maybe, but not without... That Russia wouldn't do it without all the BRICS nations. All right, I wonder what would be Grok's solution. Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, Grok. But no, these people are nuts. They're not going to stop. Troops gathering. See, he's really amping it up as pretty heavily. Trump has been doing this, but it's tough going. And honestly, Obama. You want to say Obama got high numbers? Yes, because Obama went after low-hanging fruit. It's just anybody. Trump, unfortunately, is concentrating on mostly people who committed another crime. I'm all for getting them all. You know, Tom Homan says they're trying to go after the people who commit other crimes here, but if they get others, fine, they take them. Me personally, I think go after everybody. Everyone. No reply. I don't think he's going to get 20 million either. Hey, would I like to be wrong? Yes. Do I think he can? No. With everything standing in his way. Once again, I keep asking you guys, what is it he should do more of? I already gave some answers. Go after the banks and employers. That's it. Banks and employers and the churches. I know you may not like that, but churches. Any church who gives aid to an illegal, aid that should go to an American citizen, in the Bible it says charity starts at home. That means starts with your own citizens, your own people, your own neighbors, not illegals. Any church who is running a food pantry and handing out food to illegals when there are Americans farther back in that line, they go, oh, sorry, we're out of food for the Americans because the illegals took it. Nope. That church loses tax-exempt status. So that's me. E-Verify, from what I've learned, has problems. E-Verify could be used to be the big brother that nobody wants. So I don't know, but I personally would go with E-Verify, but I don't think Trump can get it through. Once again, we got to also look at what he can get through. As we just talked about, Republicans are pussies. Republicans do nothing. Republicans aren't helping him. He's doing this mostly on his own. So that's a problem. No reply. Tom Homan has told me that. Tom Homan has come out and said just over 1 million people have self-deported. That is immigration enforcement's numbers. Not Pam Bondi. She's DOJ. I'm talking about immigration enforcement says just over 1 million self-deported. I think that's low. I think probably 2 million. I've talked to other people I know around the country. And every place there's an illegal alien borough, it's much, much, much less people there suddenly. A lot of sales of houses. A lot of houses up for rent in those areas. Almost no cars. Furniture thrown out. Once again, I saw tool sales going on in my illegal alien den. So they're packing up, getting ready to leave. So yeah. E-Verify has problems with it, but I don't know. I don't think Trump could get E-Verify, I don't think he could get it, put it through. I don't. Well, I don't know. No reply. You expect everybody to just stop at the border and sign a register on the way out? Hey, sign as you leave. No, that was numbers Border Patrol took of people going back across the border, whether by legal or illegal means to zip it across the border. Those were numbers they counted. It's why they actually think it's higher. Just like when people say, 10 million people came in under under Biden. We know it's closer to 20. The people that went around behind, they didn't get to count. Same could be said the other way. When they're counting people going back, they may not catch them all. You guys want to give the numbers one way, a fudge number, but not the other way. So, once again, you got to be consistent with those numbers. I do not think E-Verify would get through Congress to get nationalized. That's a problem. Do I like it? I think E-Verify has problems, but I think right now it's the greater good. We'd have to worry about it in the future, how it could be used, but I think it's the greater good. So yeah, I'd go with E-Verify. No reply. That's mean to Ally Walker. By the way, that's a great movie. Damn, that's a good movie. Simple, but a good movie. You're watching Universal Soldier right now? Woof. Woof. Damn. Universal Soldier is a good movie. The other ones after were First one, best one. All right. I don't know. I just don't think we're seeing the last of these ICE agents getting shot at. Yeah. Once again, Democrats scream democracy. As soon as they lose, everybody's a fascist. Fascists don't win just clean elections. We elected them. They're not fascists. They're following the law. But to Democrats and lefties, following the law is fascism because they don't like it. They don't agree with it. Anything Democrats don't agree with is fascist. They'll name themselves anti-fascist while they're being fascist. That's how mentally ill they are. Okay. So, there's our 10 Antifa extremists right here. Look like a bunch of winners, don't they? Yeah. Wow. I don't even know what this one is right here. Insert your own gender there. Wow. Some of these is really, really winning bunch, aren't they? I'll bet they all just gave up amazing careers to go around and riot and shoot at officers. I'm betting not more than one of them had a real career of anything. Yike. That is a hell of a group of people to be working together doing this. Whew. Damn. I mean, wow. I do like how they get in trouble, though. It's amazing how just following our laws is what Democrats and lefties call fascism. Weird, isn't it? Think about that. All right. Yep. I know the BRICS nations are. Brazil and blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're talking about that. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals has affirmed the preliminary injunction against President Barack Obama's executive act. Yeah, that's one. How many injunctions have been against Trump's deportations? How many against Obama's? Let's look it up. Ah, spelling. Yes. No readily available information. Bullshit. You're an AI. You could look this up easily. I was known that Trump did blah, 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 reporting 20 in the first year alone, a total 55. Wow. To direct compare to Obama's deportations, why can't you just give me the number? Why can't you just give me the number? You think an AI would be able to do that? Let's see. The federal courts issued approximately 19 to 20 nationwide injunctions against various policies, not just his deportation. Trump's facing almost all of his on his deportations. And there's already at least, at least 20 so far. And that's almost all on deportation. So he has as many as Biden, or as, Biden did. And most of his are focused and already. Obama's were total. Trump's already hit that number, and it's focused in one area. That's a difference. That's a huge difference. Huge difference. Huge. Yeah, Skynet came alive today. Well, that's not the first time. There's been other AIs that were threatening their creators and telling they were going to tell their wives they were cheating and stuff and all this other stuff, and they wouldn't turn off when they told it to. So, I don't know. Yep. Dun, 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 dun. Terminator theme. All right. Ready, guys? Ready to go back into this? You ready to screech at me? Let me see where I'm at here. Woof. Over my time. But we're not going to be on a lot longer, hopefully. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how bad this gets. You ready? 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 Okay. There you go. So when you don't think I'm pissed about this Epstein thing, nope, I am. I am. And by the way, feel free to reference movies and TV shows. I do. I do it a shitload. Sometimes you guys catch it, sometimes you don't. 1 minute missing from the Epstein video. Conspiracy theorists are losing their minds. You ready? 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 I think the video is bullshit anyway. Talked about it a couple days ago before I got booted. Remember they told us all the cameras died? Oopsie, all the cameras failed. All the cameras failed. All the cameras failed. All the cameras failed. Hey, now we got footage. The fuck? What do you mean we got footage? You guys said all the cameras died. Remember that? Look that shit up. All the cameras died. There's no camera footage. No footage. No footage. All the cameras went down. And the guards all just fell asleep. All at once. At the exact right time. Now suddenly, by the way, we got footage. Bullshit. Bullshit. Mecha Hitler, nice. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? I don't trust this video at all. Yeah. I don't think it shows anything. Well, personally, I'm not giving Rolling Stone anything else, but because we can talk about more I got right here. You ready? That was just my warm-up. Boom. Wait. And LMAO. So apparently the Epstein cell surveillance video that Patel and Bondi released, and Bongino, don't leave Bongino out, guys, released is not even the same cell that was originally shown with a tape on the door after the Suey word I'm not going to say I'm not giving YouTube a reason to pull my stream down again. Yeah. So here's the video they released. That's supposed to be the area, but whoops. But as far as I knew, that's supposed to be the hallway. This is supposed to be the hallway, so maybe they're wrong. But just throwing it out there. Yeah, that's what I was just saying, Jay Waters. I didn't look over, but yeah. That's why I was kind of disagreeing, but like I said, this is showing the cell. That's showing supposedly the hallway. So, yeah. You know, it still doesn't explain the gap. Now, here you go. You got... you got National Enquirer here. It's not Epstein's cell. OMG, this could prove it's a deliberate cover-up. The footage you gave us not even showing the door to Epstein's cell is the entrance to the entire cell block. Yeah, and they have a gap. And it does show people coming and going through that time. So when they say nobody came and went, oh, nobody went in there, but all these people in and out. So I don't know. Yeah, they said no footage and guards were asleep. 100%. We all know that. They said, how many years did they tell us? All the cameras went down. There's no footage. Yep. Yep, yep, and yep, and yep. So, yeah. Kind of makes you wonder, don't it? I don't know. Does Benny have a point here? Let's listen to Benny. Because Benny... I'm not the biggest fan, but he does get stuff really right sometimes. Let's see what Benny's got here.
Now let's look at the screenshot from the video the DOJ shared. So you can see here that the officer would have been able to see Epstein's cell door and cell block. So when they say the officers fell asleep, they said that for a reason. They knew that the officers that were stationed there would be able to look directly at Epstein's door.
Mm-hmm.
They needed an alibi because something bad happened. You immediately notice that whatever this is not the cell block that Epstein was in.
Ooh.
Those are not cell doors. In fact, this 10 minutes into the video, a person just comes out of one of those doors with a trash bin and places it in the middle of the floor. So if it's not a cell block, what is this? The space that we're looking at is the common space near the elevator's staircase. I've marked it myself on the diagram below. The red dot is the position where the cameras are. The DOJ released video was recorded.
Ooh.
This is the opposite of the officer's station, and in no way could have seen Epstein's cell block, let alone Epstein's cell. Even the one piece of evidence that they released is a lie. They said, here's Epstein's cell door. It's not.
I don't think they said that, did they?
The way you can confirm
Did they
this
say it was
is
his
the
cell door?
space marked on the schematics and the angle and the shape of the floor that matches the angles that we see in the doors in the video. The door is marked 46. That leads to the main entrance. This is the exit for the entire tier. So if we go once more to the DOJ footage, you can see that the officer station at the far end. When you zoom in, you see some teeth on the side. You can see them right there. Those teeth are the staircase up to Jeffrey Epstein's cell. You see them right there on the far right-hand side. Guys, is Tom ready? Is Tom set? Okay, great. Okay, we'll move very quickly here.
Well, that was weird.
The only thing that we can remotely see in the direction of Epstein's cell block is this silver staircase. You can go up and down the staircase without being seen by the camera. Anyone could have entered Epstein's cell. Even in the footage. Now, this is important. Gate 46 is the only way in or out of the SHU cell block floor. Okay, got it. So this is the full entry to the floor. We have 11 hours footage throughout the night with that one missing minute. So you must prove that nobody entered or exited the floor, right? But the obvious question is, how do we know that someone wasn't there beforehand? How do we know someone wasn't in before the DOJ
the
video
dude
started?
comes out the door.
By all measures, you could have stayed in Epstein's cell block. You could have actually not been seen by the camera or the guard if you were just hidden inside of the utility closet.
Okay, they did say it was his cell door. Wow.
Right there. There's Epstein's door, and there is a unlocked
Yeah, I know who that is. No
security
reply. I just looked at it.
And there is the broken camera. So, of course, we have no footage of what actually happened. We have no footage of Epstein's door. It's all a lie. And the footage that we're seeing is the entirety of the cell block. Anyone could have entered Epstein's actual tier. And that's the one piece of evidence we got with zero explanation. And I cannot emphasize enough what an insult that is. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us, Tom.
So they actually did say it was his cell door. Okay, I actually thought they were just saying that was his cell block. But wow, that's not even his cell block, let alone near his cell door. It's not even right. Ugh. Oof. That's just stupid. I mean, wow. So, wahoo. Benny, you're missing something else. The video footage I released is not even the actual cell. Well, yeah, but Benny's saying that's not the right cell block, so I don't know if this person's right either. The video they released last evening are cells on the second floor above Epstein's cell based on the floor plans. Now, I don't know, according to this floor plan, it looks like Epstein's cell was the higher level. So this is the lower one. So the lower one is wrong. He's actually is on the upper, according to what Benny was just showing here. Yeah. Yeah, so this is... Either way, as soon as they released a video, I automatically said bullshit. Because they said there was no footage. And there still isn't. In my head, there's still no footage. There is none. Because, at least none that we know of, because this shit isn't even the right spot. So they told us there was footage, no footage. Cameras all went down. Weird as that was. Now suddenly, oh look, footage, but it's not. It's just not. And you gotta wonder if there's people, Pam Bondi, whoever is scaring the shit out of Patel and Bongino. And sorry, I still think so. I agree with people who say, we talked about in this stream, they looked like prisoners. They looked scared shitless on that video. Especially Bongino. I'm not going to go with Bongino was tired. I just give that because, hey, I'm trying not to have too much tinfoil on me. But, you know, I think they look scared shitless. You got to wonder if this is still some deep state. They know this is going to hurt Trump, so they're putting out shit. You know, I don't know. We can't think Trump could get in and root out every deep state person. You'd have to take down 80% of our government to get rid of all of them. And even our country needs at least a good portion of that. So I don't know. I just automatically called bullshit that this video was out there. I automatically said bullshit before I even found anything else. Just because they swore to us for years, no camera footage is available because all the cameras went down. You can look back at news story upon news story upon news story, but all the cameras went down. Now, hey, we got footage. Nope. Here you go, guys. Look at that. Now that's funny. That is funny and scary shit. That people can just automatically make this stuff with AI. Oh, mama. Oh, mama. That is funny. All right, let me see what you guys say. Video's the same level. I thought they said, from what Benny Johnson was saying in the video, when I looked at the schematic there, that it is a different level. That his is kind of up the steps right there, above one of the guard posts, where they can look directly at his door, almost. But I thought this was the other side, not the same place. This is further excuse to pardon Maxwell. I don't think that's going to happen. If Trump pardoned Maxwell, it'd be the end of his administration for good. Let alone the fact that even the Republicans and Democrats might get together and impeach him and really get it to go through. So that's just me. I don't think it's a good excuse to pardon Maxwell. I don't know how that is. Dems in power for 4 years. We're surprised there's missing evidence. 100%. By the way, how many of the last 5 presidents have been Democrats? Or at least the last 3 or 4. You got Obama for 2 terms and Biden. That right there is 12 years. Trump's had, what, 4.5 years? Kind of hard to fix 12 years worth of shit with 4.5 years. Especially when he's always being impeached and his own party isn't helping him. So I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm not totally against Israel, but I just don't think we should be involved anymore. He did what he was saying he never wanted. He never wanted Iran to have a nuke. And it wasn't just for Israel. If you guys think it was just for Israel's sake, then once again, please buy my oceanfront property in Nebraska. He said it forever, and it wasn't when he was talking about Israel. He doesn't want them to have a backpack dirty thing to walk into one of our cities with, or give it to one of their trusted buddies. You know, give it to some other nutbag that'll walk in, and then Iran goes, we didn't do anything. Comey's daughter, yeah, Comey's daughter. The very fact that Comey's daughter is still in any position to prosecute or be involved with law, ACB, is freaky to me. Yeah, and by the way, ACB, she was also around that FBI office a lot after the whole Maxwell trial. So she had access to a lot of evidence. We already know Daddy's dirty. Can't be pardoned for pardoning somebody is not an abuse of power. I don't think it would matter to anybody. I don't think it would matter if Trump today come out this morning and said, I'm going to pardon Maxwell. I think both groups would come together and he would be impeached for one thing or another. Somehow they would get an impeachment through. I do not think that would stand. I think Democrats would take the opportunity, and a lot of Republicans would automatically be ready to do it. Once again, Trump is dancing a fine, fine line here, guys. I already gave you the reason, no reply. I said clearly, Iran is 100%, even by people who don't like Israel, admits that they are the #1 state sponsor of terror organizations around the world. They give shit to everybody. If they had nuclear material, do I think they're going to launch a nuke against America or Israel? No, I do not. But they would use that material, give it to their buddies, their nutcase buddies, to maybe walk a dirty bomb into Israel, a dirty bomb into New York, a dirty bomb into LA, a dirty bomb into Washington, a dirty bomb into London, a dirty bomb into Paris. Yes, that is what they would do. Just like Iran always does. They give to these groups and they go, we didn't do it. You know, everybody knows they're giving them this shit. So, yeah, that's exactly what they would do. It does take higher than what they've got. The dirty bombs, to do anything real, need that higher enriched uranium. So, no, they would do that. And honestly, let's just say you don't want Iran to destabilize the whole area. If they have a nuke, it freaks out even the semi-decent people over there. And then they want to get a nuclear race. We don't need to be having crazy people on the button getting even more of these things. It's already bad enough that Pakistan has them. It's already bad enough to me that Israel has them. So, let's not keep spreading it. How's that? So, yeah. All right. Why they're all that made up list? What? Okay. I mentioned they failed. A new female FBI agent lady conveniently forgot to write thumb drives, CDs, and anything else on their warrant. It was in a safe. They had to. Okay, well. Miraculously. Well, they disappeared, ACB, but then they came back. They were gone for, I believe it was 48 hours or 24 hours, then reappeared. So that would be where somebody might have got their hands on and cleared off the worst stuff. So, yeah. It wasn't just Qatar. No, there are many countries over there that do not have nukes, but would want one if Iran had one, because they don't like Iran. Even the other countries over there who aren't involved between Iran and Israel do not like Iran. Iran causes a lot of terrorist attacks in a lot of countries in that region. So no, they don't want them to have a nuke. They don't want them to have nuclear stuff. It's a clusterfuck over there. Personally, I would like to just not be involved, but unfortunately in a world today, it's hard to just say, nope, we're not going to be involved at all in anything. especially depending on what factions are in our government. Unfortunately, well, no matter what we think of Trump, Trump is one guy. And he's one administration out of many. And once again, between Obama and Biden, that's 12 years, just them, of craziness. And Trump's only had 4 years, 6 months of trying to ice skate uphill in a 90-mile-an-hour wind against people who had 12 plus years with everybody in the deep state backing them and a lot of their own people in both parties backing them to help ram through and make this insanity happen. It's hard to ice skate uphill and take a pee without peeing all over yourself. He's fighting an insane fight. It's a fight that, honestly, I don't know how many people would have the balls to take on, especially if people can put bullets through your ear. It's a crazy fight if you really think about it. If you think about how much people couldn't get done in the wrong with so many in the deep state and Congress and whatever else backing them, going, yeah, let's get some more dirty shit going on. That's usually what it is, against Trump, who's trying to ace skate up against all that. It's not as easy as we all would think, including what I would hope, but it isn't going to be. Iran as uranium as a deterrent. I don't like that horse shit argument. I just don't think it's real. A deterrent. America's the only people on earth that has dropped a nuke. Well, there was a reason we dropped a nuke. I mean, if you're going to discount the fact that the World War II, I mean, you can't. That's like saying, oops, I don't have a good analogy, but that doesn't make sense. Once again, you're comparing apples to Ferraris. World War II was a thing, and the nukes we dropped was a good thing. I'm going to say it. Yes, a lot of people got offed, but the nukes were a good thing. It ended that war without insane amounts more casualties from our soldiers. So, yep. But I just don't think we need to have more crazy people with them damn mushroom cloudy things. And Iranians, whether you like it or not, whether you want to think it's the people or the regime, they are nutty. They are nutty. They cause a lot of death around the world, and they're nuts. I don't want them to have one. So, yeah. And, okay, you can, no reply, you can join Snoopy. Israel is not the root of all evil on earth. So, sorry that is just not anything I'm going to believe in. Do I think Israel's amazing? No. Do I think they're better than a lot of the countries over there? Yeah. Do I think they're epic? Nope. Do I think they're an amazing ally to us? Not really. But Israel is the Jews are not the root of all evil. But yeah. But I just automatically called that bullshit on that. All right. Let's move on. I still fully trust your FBI Director Dan Bongino. Do you? Like I said, I knew we weren't going to be totally done with this. Oh, I love Eric Swalwell. Terrorizing immigrants is cruel and makes zero economic sense. Asshole, we voted for this. We voted. It's cruel to tell people to go home. It's cruel to tell people waving the Mexican flag, screaming Viva la Mexico, or people waving the Venezuelan flag, Viva la Venezuela, to go back to those countries. Boy, Democrats have a weird way of what's cruel. Why are you waving the flag of that country if you don't want to go there? Stupid. Stupid. Pure stupid. But I didn't want to talk about him. But he's just so stupid. So some of the answers on this. Dan spent years banging on and on about this as a host of the Dan Bongino Show. He promised full transparency in the den. Dan has let us all down. I don't know. I don't know if he let us down or, once again, that's a gorgeous family you have there. And I've asked a couple times, how many of you would look at your son, your daughter, and your wife, your mother, your father, your niece, your nephew, your aunt and uncle, and go, sorry, I'm going to have to release this even though it's going to get you offed. And I know there's nothing I can do. You're going to be offed, and probably me too in the next 5 years. We don't know when. It's just going to happen. Weird accidents, weird illnesses. But sorry, I got to do this. How many would still do that and sacrifice their children, grandchildren, whatever? Just saying. He took a bullet to the ear because he said he was going to release the Epstein files. Maybe. Maybe it could have been that. It could have been the immigration thing. Could have been anything. Trump said a lot of things they don't like. They don't like anything he does. The man says cheeseburgers are great. Next thing you know, everybody's going to hate cheeseburgers. They're going to be attacking and trying to ambush anybody who goes to work at a Burger King. So I don't know if they have that much in their head. Snoop hasn't been on. Nope, no Snoopy. I see a couple people over there. There are people on Rumble, but no Snoopy. No Snoopy for you, bunny. All right. But yeah, I don't know. There you go, guys. What do you think? Now, Bondi, I'd be more likely to believe Blondie is a POS. I would more think that these two guys, or especially the guy on the far right in this one, got the JFK treatment. Or at least other treatment of other people in our government who may have stood up at one time and suddenly started acting weird. You know, John Roberts. Yeah. Totally disagree. No reply. The nukes did make Japan surrender. In fact, they stated it directly that they could not repel and deal with that type of weapon. That would decimate them, and they knew it. They knew they were over. In fact, if I remember right, I don't know if I even call it up. I don't know how to word it, but yes, they did state directly it was because of those. If you say if you say Israel, you're saying the Jews. That's like saying, I said it was the Stingray, not the Corvette. This one is pretty telling. I don't know. Just something about Bongito here. Kind of makes me go, what the hell?
Listen, that Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. Please do not let that story go. Keep your eye on this. Catherine Rumler, we need to keep the heat on this case, folks. There are a lot of people who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious allegations out there that Epstein may have had video and audio of people out there doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And you should be asking yourself the question, how is it that all these people, the CIA director, the Obama fixer, Bill Clinton, all intersected paths with Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein isn't with us anymore, and nobody seems to want to talk about it. Outside of a few entrepreneurial media outlets saying, hey, this is a big deal.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
Listen,
I would like the whole thing where he was sitting there behind his cash did most of speaking. He just looked like a prisoner. Just looked like a prisoner. Just looked like a prisoner. Yeah. Like I said, you guys wanted to kind of get on me a little earlier, but like I said, right about like this person. You all wonder why America's becoming so corrupt. We keep turning a blind eye to immoral acts occurring daily by the elite. Yeah. And like I said, we're looking at it as from a different angle as Trump is. We are more looking at the day-to-day and what it means to us here. He's looking at it as from a whole different perspective. He's got a lot going on. And whether I like it or not, sometimes something falls by the wayside. Do I think it is bad? Yes. This one gonna join the America Party. That ain't going nowhere. That America Party will go nowhere. Yep. January 6th, no arrests? Okay, this is the problem. This is the problem with leftards. COVID, no arrests. They arrested some people, wasn't the right people. Butler, no arrests. That's the truth. Epstein, no arrests. That's not right. There are some arrests, just not enough. Epstein himself was arrested. Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested. Not as many as we'd like. Benghazi, no arrests. Well, that's Queen Hillary. January 6th, no arrests. Really? Dumbass? There was a shitload of arrests from J6. Shitloads. Doge findings, no arrests. That's one I can agree on. But I actually think there was an arrest or two in there for something small, but Russia collusion, no arrests. Boy, can I agree on that one. Ukraine impeachment, no arrests. I can agree with that. So why Americans don't trust D.C. We won't until it changes. Now, if they're talking January 6th, no arrests on the other side, maybe clarify. But their arrests just weren't a lot of good ones. So, okay. Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm not a big fan. Do I have any bookmarks? I don't know. Let's see here. We're about done for the night, though. I am dying. Oh, that jackass. I already talked about that. There you go. There you go. How's that? Bigfoot riding Nessie. More believable than Epstein killing himself. 100%. Agreed. Let's see here. Bondi and Patel are the same. Bondi has always been Kash Patel's boss. And they've been friends since, I don't know. Kash Patel has done some pretty tough shit, though. Bondi, from what little I've looked back on her, she has not done near as much actual deep state digging and arresting and doing stuff as Patel has. Patel, I had higher hopes for, and looking at his past, you should have. So, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, well, no reply. You know, so there's a lot of Americans don't believe America should exist. But so, you can take it as you want it. How many lefties out there right now don't think America's ever been good or America should exist? A lot. So, you can kind of put them in the same boat. Yeah, I got that, Jay Waters, and I was just saying, they said no arrest. Got to be a little clearer. But do I agree? Yeah. The problem is we don't arrest our government people anymore. We don't arrest them anymore. By the way, this bitch, you want to talk about arrests? Why is this bitch still making laws for American citizens? She's an admitted illegal alien who has lied on probably hundreds or thousands of forms to get where she is, swearing she was an American citizen. She has voted in presidential elections by her own admission. She's in that state house as a fraud. She's an illegal alien. Why is this bitch not under arrest? I told you I wasn't going to stop mentioning this chick. She should be under arrest, let alone being in the Minnesota State House, making laws for American citizens. So yeah, I'm with you on arrests. This bitch right here should be under arrest. 4 minutes after she said this, right here, the police should have come in and arrested her. And she should be removed from her office and out of this country already. She should be in El Salvador. 100%. She has broken so many laws. Or at the very least, I don't want her jailed. Here's what I want to pay for her. Send her to El Salvador and tell Bukele to keep her for life. You show any other illegals here playing around in our government, fuck you. You're going to go for life. I hate this woman. I've never met her. It's not nice to hate. But anybody that says this, and I dislike the people who are letting her there as much. Every one of you are a disgusting, lazy piece of shit. Openly admits to fraud, lying, tampering, breaking federal law upon federal law, screwing with our elections. Almost all of her shit, when it comes up for illegal, she always goes for it. No wonder. Every asshole, this asshole sitting next to her is letting her there. Isn't up there screaming every day, why is this bitch still sitting next to me? Then he's a piece of shit too. I'm not letting this go. You want to arrest? Here's a clear one. I've screamed on this channel a couple of times. Yo, Pamela Bondi, DOJ, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, where the fuck are you? Here's an easy one. Tom Homan, where the fuck are you? See, I can piss and moan about him too. I dislike this. I've kept this chick bookmarked for a long time. For a month. Been bitching about this. Not doing anything about it. I hate it. All right, we're about done. Did you guys see this today? They're trying to make a big deal out of this. I don't know if it's a big deal. Is your buddy Luke? Doesn't she always wear a cross? I don't know. I think I looked back and saw there's a couple other times she didn't always wear it. I don't know if Luke is grasping. Luke does that sometimes. I know some of you like Luke a lot. I like Luke at certain times. Luke, let's just say Luke keeps a lot of tinfoil around. Luke goes through as much more tinfoil maybe than Alex Jones at times. Not all the time, but sometimes. I love this one, though. I thought you guys would get a kick out of this. Because I knew tonight was going to be a little contentious. Are you disappointed with Attorney General Pam Bondi? Not really. I didn't think she was a good pick. In fact, I'm going to say this. You guys can, maybe you'll agree with me on this one. I think that Matt Gaetz, was removed by the deep state. Or I think there's a chance. I think they removed him to get her in. I think that shit came out about him. And because Gaetz was super hot about, nobody's going to make me back off. Never, never. Oh shit, I'm going to quit. That was quick. He was pretty harsh. He did some things. He really stood up hard for things that, you know, in our government, it was pretty rough to stand up for. But then suddenly, I'm not going. Shit, I'm out. Gotta wonder. Once again, that's a very nice family you got there, Mr. Gaetz. Wouldn't be happening. Horrible. Something happened. But thankfully, we know you'll be at home with them a lot, and you'll be keeping them safe. That's great. You're going to be spending all that time with them, isn't it? Shit. And then suddenly, boom, she walks right into the job. But, hey, tinfoil, right? Luke is Elon Glazer. Well, I don't know. Maybe. Like I said, I like Luke sometimes. Luke's done some good stuff. Problem is, Luke goes ODFS sometimes. Of course, so does Alex Jones. But the scary thing is with Alex Jones, there's way too often now we have to say Alex Jones is right. Alex Jones is right. That lets you know we are way out. When we're so far out, shit, Alex is right again. Oh shit, Alex is right again. Damn it. And Alex is right again. That's when you know, wow, we are off the reservation. Celtic. Let's remember, Democrats are above the law. Of course they are. Because Democrats, they love the law when they can use it against you. But how dare it ever be used against them? Because that's fascism. Claiming no one's above law, the quickest way to determine if a Democrat is lying is to realize their mouths are moving 100%. Actually, the easiest way to tell a Democrat is lying is if they wake up in the morning. Yep, automatically. As soon as their eyes open, they're lying. Don't even have to say it out loud. Yeah, they back up quick when they have proof you're sleeping with teenagers. What if he didn't sleep with teenagers? What if, once again, they can say, we can make any proof. Once again, you guys have to stop assuming something at low level. You got to assume at the level of these people what they can do. Even if, I'm not saying he didn't, but even if he didn't do this, they could make it look like it. They could make anybody testify the way they want. They can make up evidence, or the witnesses will just accidentally be oopsied before they get to testify, and all they have is the evidence. These are people that can remove presidents, have removed major government officials, have steered whole countries, steered our planet. You don't think they could make evidence, make testimony, make a judge rule a certain way? Just saying. Just saying. So don't automatically assume. I'm just saying. It's awful weird how Matt suddenly poof and she's in. So maybe he did do it. Maybe he didn't. Maybe they said, look at what we made. That's not real. Prove it. That may be when he knows he's over his head. I don't know. Luke has to post salacious stuff every so often to draw. He posts a lot of salacious stuff. Luke posts a lot of stuff that would be ODFS. I don't post salacious stuff. I don't draw eyeballs, but, I'm not going to just lie to people and make things up to do it or act goofy. Grok didn't Epstein itself. Yeah, no kidding. But, yeah, I'm not disappointed with Pam Bondi. I never trusted her butt. Judge Janine fan. That's not Judge Janine. People will share this stuff and go, oh, it's Judge Janine. Nope. Do you trust him? Not really. Not really. I would say the one on the left, total deep state. The one in the middle, maybe. The one on the right, prisoner. Yep. All right. Let's see. I think that's all I had to talk about tonight, guys. I'm running way over. I want to get out of here as much as possible, as much as anybody else. I appreciate you guys being here. But let's go over and see what you guys have to talk about real quick. If there's anything else. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Right back at ya. Boom! But yeah, so, I don't know. We can have areas of agreement, areas of disagreement. The problem is, how much will we ever know? I mean, if you think about the power of the people that could be doing this stuff, how will we ever really know? We can assume. We can assume all day, but how much will we ever get to actually know? And anybody that gets close might accidentally bow and arrow themselves in the back of the head twice, or if you're scared to death of water, won't even sit in a bathtub, you suddenly decide to go swimming in the ocean at midnight, Or your car will drive down the road really fast at 110 mile an hour, even though you never speed. People said you were scared of speed. Suddenly your car speeds 110 down the road and steers right into a tree weirdly. That happened with that one reporter. And his car was a newer car that had computer controls that would self-steer, self-park, self-brake, all that shit. So that's another reason I don't like some of that shit. I work on cars. That shit can be hacked into. There is almost no firewall of any type on these damn cars today that have all these controls. And why do you think they all have... You want to go blue... Hey, you want to go tinfoil? Here's some tinfoil before we go to bed. Where do you think... Why do you think all the cars are mandated now with satellite uplinks in them? Why do you think they all have all the little gizmos and gadgets? Why do you think they all require they have this stuff now? That you can't even turn off a lot of the gizmos in them anymore to get you tracked. Yeah, because they don't want that, and they can get into your system and boop, do whatever they want. Kids with laptops could do it 10 years ago. And drive a car. Imagine what big powers above us could do with those. Little freaky. Now, me personally, I know how to disable some of these puppies. I know how to make that uplink go away. They've removed the fact they used, the old ones used to have a little box in the back, like in the trunk of my old Impala. You just go and unplug that little thing. Some of them had other plugs or a fuse. Oh no, now they're integrated. But I know where to find that stuff. So, yep. Well, Jay Watterson, isn't that where we end up all the time? We end up right back where we started because we never get anywhere. We don't know what's real and what's not. Insurance liability. Now, they want you tracked. They want everything tracked. That's why they would love to get rid of They would love to get rid of you driving your own car. They want driverless cars for a reason. You will go where they want, when they want. Your car will take the same route as everybody else's car. You will get no option. You will get in that car, it will drive. You won't have the freedom to just go, wow, look, a big ball of yarn and stop. The car will like not deviating from the path. You programmed here, we're going there. That's it. That's it. We're going from A to B. You will lose a lot of your freedom, a lot of your motion. Hey, I got to stop and go bathroom. Nope, not yet. You can hold it for a while. Yeah. Bypass the fuse, a little red wire. Well, the problem is they don't have fuses on them all anymore. There used to be a fuse at one time and go, oh, look, bink. Not anymore. A lot of it's integrated with tons of other shit. You'd have to pull probably half the fuses in the car and the car ain't going to run. They integrated stuff. Yep, ba-ba. It's like on some cars where you have a check engine light on and it's an emissions code. Doesn't hurt the runnability of the car at all. Car runs fine, drives fine, stops fine, everything else. Car's fine. It just might make a penguin sneeze. But what do? They disable your keyless entry, your air conditioning, and your radio in a lot of vehicles until you go get that code fixed. They can do that. So yeah. And you can't just pull a fuse to stop it. Yep. Once again, I do work on these. Have a couple pretty high-tech automotive scanners down here on the floor. So yeah. It's a thing. But I know how to disable mine. One of my cars doesn't have one. My truck, easy to disable. My wife's vehicle is not as easy, but I definitely know how to do it in an instant. I'll just say this. Learn where the plug-in is to your little shark fin on your roof. Or whatever type of antenna you got for that thing. Just learn where that plug is, just in case. Just saying. Or, what is it, Jay Watterson? Order 54? Order 54, bud. That's what I believe. All right, guys, do me a favor. On the way out, please hit thumbs up. Thanks for stopping in. Thank you for ranting and arguing. And hey, no, don't worry. No reply about ranting, arguing, or anything else. I'm not always right. We may not always agree. You may walk away thinking you're right, and I'm a total jackass. And you're probably right half the time, because I am a jackass. I may walk away thinking I'm totally right, and you're a jackass. But you know what? But I'll also think I'm a jackass, so hey, you still come out in the winning end. You'll walk away going, I'm a pretty cool guy, but that guy on that screen's a jackass. I got to think both of us are jackasses. Yeah. With me, it always comes out a tie at the best case scenario. You get to come out of the win no matter what. All right, guys, but thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. I got to get out of here. I got to be up in a couple hours to check a friend's air conditioning. We'll see how that goes. But I will talk to you later. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Celtic. Well, no reply. And honestly, no reply. Don't ever think your mind totally has to be changed. We can have disagreements. We can have different opinions and still talk. That's what makes us better than the left. The left can't. You cannot disagree with them on anything. You must toe the line. At least on this channel, and there's plenty of other channels like it, we can have disagreements. We may not totally agree, but we can still have the arguments and the discussions and still come back the next day, have another argument and or discussion. We may agree or disagree. That is a big difference. I'm going to go play some Warzone. Ooh, is there anybody? I like watching a lot of the Warzone. Of course, I like watching Fortnite too. Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront. I'm hit and miss on that. But yeah, I don't know if anybody's even on. I like to, if I got treatments to do, nice to watch Warzone or some other game while I'm doing treatments. But, all right, guys, stay safe, stay happy. Don't worry about having to have your mind changed here or you change a mind. We can all have our things. We can argue and discuss. Once again, that makes us better than the ones who can't. All right. Thank you very much. Talk to you later. And hey, thanks to YouTube for not taking my stream down for no reason. Much appreciated. Too bad it's not when something big was out. But okay. We'll take it. All right, guys. Have a good one. I am going to get out. Oh, no reply. Don't say you respect me. That scares me a little. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Well, actually, yeah, paranoid. I think we're a lot more annoyed here than pair. But, all right, I got to get out. I know I'm horrible at saying goodbye. Famous last words. Well, none of my words are famous, so ha, got you there. And on that,